only thing we have to
Beer.
is
Beer.
itself.
Beer. So many choices.
Only no function beer well without.
Woohoo! Beer!
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Beer Busters, where we're going to bring in the news and reviews of your favorite brews. My name is Dan Baker, and I am joined by my co-host and brewologist,
Steph Hafner.
and of course, the demented and fermented,
Wayne Baker.
Can I just say how good it still feels to have all three of us here?
I know, right?
Amen.
Yes.
Amen, indeed. Speaking of here, it feels very good to have all three of us specifically here.
We're back again.
We're back.
This is probably where we've recorded more than almost as much as the basement.
Almost.
The basement would be number one, but
Yeah.
this is number two for location.
We're probably coming up on 10 events here.
Probably
Probably.
somewhere
Total.
around there. Yeah.
So we can only be
so
talking...
can you guess where we are?
Yeah, where are we? Where are we? Do you know?
Doody-doo.
Have you said it out loud yet, even though you're listening to us on headphones?
Text your answer to 805-991-BEER.
Don't do that. It'll be too late. We are at Canal Street, and it's very, 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 very awesome to be back here because, and we've said this many times, pretty sure this goes down as our favorite event. It's Brewphoria, and not only is it Brewphoria, it is Brewphoria 16. So make sure that you if you're not here for 16, that you come back for 17, and then you come back for 18, and keep going and keep going and keep going. Because a lot went into making sure that I can be here for this event.
This is true.
And
This
God
is very
damn it, am I
last-minute
happy.
confirmation on Dan's part, but
Yeah.
we made it happen.
Yeah.
How many texts did I send you in the last 2 weeks about this?
How many people did I have to ask to switch shifts with me at work? Oh, my God.
Well, thank you to whoever that
Yes,
final person
if you are out there listening, to everyone who made it happen, thank you so much. Well, we have a lot that's going to happen, and we've got a man who has big shoes to fill here, but so far he's knocking it out of the ballpark. The guy who used to be in this job he's made fun of us a lot on our own show, which is weird. But we have Dan Steffens with us, who is the current bar manager here at Canal Street. How are you, Dan?
I'm good, guys. Thanks for having me.
Hey, well, thank you for having us here to the event, man.
No problem, man. We're just excited to keep the tradition going.
Yeah,
This
same.
is our fifth, by the way.
Is it the fifth?
12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I had to go on our website to check.
It always messes me up because it doesn't line up with the year that we're in.
Yes.
Because this is the 16th one, but it's 2018.
It's a little complicated
Was our first
that way.
one 2014 then? I thought it was 2013.
Our first one was Brewphoria 12. I don't know when it was.
It was a while ago.
It was a while ago.
Are you going to
Anyway.
make me fact check this again?
Well, I don't know. I believe you. I don't believe my brain. I'm super pumped to be here, man. It's a great event.
2014.
Was it 2014? Okay, cool. Now, how many breweries are here today?
So there's 16 different vendors here today.
Okay.
Mainly from Pennsylvania. There's a couple outside, like Lagunitas, and Two Roads from Connecticut and California, respectively. But
Yeah.
we try to keep it mainly right here in Pennsylvania because now there's a lot of stuff that we can do here.
Yeah, especially specifically local to Reading.
Yeah.
There's a lot that's popping up now. So I know we have Shaler's right across the way. Oak Brook is over there as well. Are there any other Reading ones here?
There's none of that are like distinctly Reading, but there's stuff that's close, just like
Yeah.
Weyerbacher from East End,
Right.
and like Urban Village from only 45 minutes away in Philadelphia. So there's a lot of stuff that you can get to within an hour and a half just from
Question:
here.
how do you get to Philly in 45 minutes? It always takes us longer.
He has a jetpack.
I told you not to tell anyone.
That's how he points the
No,
traffic.
he goes at 3 in the morning.
Yeah, you can get
true.
there 45 minutes if it's 3 in the
Yeah,
morning.
yeah.
That's true.
One of my favorite things, and you had mentioned Weyerbacher, that they're close by, so I'm guessing they're here this year.
Yes.
Also, that they always do some sort of super cool beer release.
They have some cool stuff over there. I was peeking at the cans and the bottles that he brought.
Do you have any inside info?
I do, but I'm not supposed
say.
to. Yeah,
It's okay.
I
It's all right.
was told that 9 they're doing a special release.
At
I was
9,
told
all right.
the two options of what they were going to be, and I
Oh.
was just going to let it ride and be
So
surprised with the rest of you.
You don't even actually know. You just know it's one of those two.
I know it's one of
okay.
two.
Okay.
Do they have Dallas Sucks here?
I have it in stock. They don't have it on what they're featuring.
This is the weekend for it. Why wouldn't they have it here?
Because it's probably gone. Everyone's drinking it
That's true.
Well,
this weekend.
The Eagles played the Cowboys this weekend, right?
I don't know. You're the
I don't know.
Eagles fan.
I'm a hockey guy.
Same.
Okay.
Same. I know enough about.
guys, this is a beer podcast.
I know, but as we're recording this, I'm pretty sure it's Eagles Cowboys this weekend, which is
But speaking of
sports
beer,
people. Yeah, speaking of beer,
one of the cool things about this fest, and we've said this probably every time we're here, is that this is the kind of fest where you don't just get like a ton of sales reps just slinging beer that they don't really know much about or that they're only like tangentially connected to. You get a lot of brewers, you get like the marketing people from the breweries, you get a lot of people who know the beer, make the beer, are connected with the beer,
Or own the brewery.
or own the brewery.
That's the case of a few people that are here.
Yeah, so it's a really cool fest in that respect, in that it's intimate. There's not a ton of people. How many people are you expecting tonight?
About 320.
Okay, so it's usually around 300, I think, which isn't huge. I mean, it's enough space to accommodate that amount of people, and it's a cool fest in that respect. It's like for people who care about beer, and not just drinking a bunch just to drink.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the mac and cheese.
And the mac and
and
cheese.
the buffet.
That's 75 tickets right there. Just the mac and
just
cheese.
the mac and cheese. Just the mac
74 of them are probably between me and Rich.
What? That doesn't even make sense.
That's
don't
the
know.
point.
I don't even know.
When I found out I was actually able to be here, as excited as I was for the beer, that buffet, man, is always incredible. The mac and cheese, I was dreaming of the mac and cheese this week because I was so afraid I couldn't be here.
So I have to ask, I don't think
I'm a
this
fat
is a
kid.
question that we've ever asked before, but how long does it take you to plan this event? Because I know Canal Street and you are very meticulous about, who is invited to pour, and even like there's a buzz in the local craft beer community about which breweries are going to get to come, and a lot of breweries look at it as an honor to be able to pour here. So how long does it take to put this event together, and what's the process like making those decisions?
Well, I started the weekend after July 4th. Just to kind of get the breweries locked in. Last year, with the transition between Dusty and myself, it was tough to get everything done in a short time, and I wanted to avoid that. So this year, I started right after July, pretty much reaching out to breweries, thinking that someone's going to say no, or hey, we can't do it this week, yada, yada, yada. Turns out everyone was like, yeah, sure, right away. So, totally easy.
That's
so it was
awesome.
pretty much, I did that, didn't have to do anything for a couple months until it starts getting closer and we can kind of see what beer is available on. And it's just kind of constantly checking in every 2 weeks, seeing like what's going on. Does this look like it's going to be on track for the delivery time? And just a whole bunch of logistic nonsense of just texts and emails and shipping manifests and doing all this and that, making sure everything gets here the week of and doesn't go crazy.
Right, yeah.
And then after this event, you guys have Sip Fest in
Yes.
the spring. So
Yes.
I'm sure once this is all cleaned up and you recover from the hangover of this event, you'll start planning for
Yeah,
Sip
it's pretty
Fest
much
too.
right after Christmas.
Do you guys have a date for Sip Fest yet?
No, I do not.
So we will share that on our page. But the Ugly Sweater Party is December 20th.
There you go. It's
I
official.
love Brewphoria, but I love the Ugly Sweater Party is freaking awesome. I love that.
There are going to be some really cool things that we released this year for that. There's things that have been down there for up to 5 years that are
Oh my gosh.
just
Whoa.
about ready.
The
really?
beers are always
Yeah.
epic. The prizes are always a lot of fun. The raffles are awesome. The honor of being chosen if you
That's-
have the
yeah,
ugliest of the sweaters. I already have mine picked out. So
You guys also do a really cool New Year's Eve event every year. You guys doing that again this year?
We are currently planning it out. We haven't set for sure if we're going to do it. Last year we couldn't because we were hosting a wedding.
Okay.
This year there's a potential for someone else renting out the building as well. So
Okay.
if that kind of goes through, that we're going to follow through with that. If not, we're going to go back to having the New Year's Eve party.
Who gets married on New Year's Eve?
Someone who hates their friends. They're hijacking that
I
holiday.
know, man.
Yeah, that's
Everyone.
really like
That's
if I got
selfish.
invited
It
to a
is.
wedding, especially if it was someone like that you
Wow.
couldn't refuse, like a family member or a close friend. Like if it was
I
somebody
think
you
that'd be
kinda
an awesome. What a fun way to ring in the new year. Because
Well-
usually when you're invited to a wedding, you're with people that are awesome and you
That's
love
true.
hanging out
It
with.
depends. Although to be fair, as I say that, I realize I kind of usually don't really do much on New Year's.
Yeah, exactly.
As I'm getting older, so
What are you
maybe
bitching about?
that would be cool.
Maybe you should
That
go
would
get
be
married.
cool. Yeah, I should get married this year.
That's a hell of a way to ring it in.
Yeah, right.
Oh God. Are you planning on adding other events to the Canal Street lineup?
And right now we have nothing more to add to the docket just because the way the year kind of plans out. I mean, right after this, we kind of go into our holiday events, and it gets hectic.
Yeah. Well, the events that you guys do too hold their own.
Yeah.
Like they are well sought after, well respected events that everybody loves coming to. So
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly, and that was the one lucky thing that I had when I came into this. That Dusty put a really good yearly schedule of some really awesome events that everyone can come to and really enjoy, and that they made a name for themselves. So I really didn't have to upset the apple cart when I came in because there was such a good groundwork of things going on.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's cool that you were able to step in and basically just not even skip a beat and
Yeah.
just keep it going. That's pretty awesome.
Okay.
Well, we don't want to hold you up too much because the doors are about to open
They
and it is
are.
about to get crazy, and hopefully we'll be able to munch
Yeah.
on some mac and cheese soon.
I do just have one last question before we let you get back to work. You can maybe hear the band behind us beginning to warm up. I just want to give a shout out. What's the band that's playing
The band
tonight?
is the Youngers.
The Youngers.
Youngers.
Yeah, they're typically our house band when we do Sip Fest in Brewphoria,
Right.
but yeah, they rock, and they'll be playing the entirety of the event every time we do one of these things.
Awesome. So whenever there's an awkward pause in our conversations, if you like the music in the background, check out the Youngers.
Awesome. Thank you
Yes.
very much,
Have
guys.
fun tonight.
Thanks, man.
Thanks,
Cheers.
dude. Doors are about to open. Bands warming up. All the breweries are putting on the final touches to their setups. Mac and cheese has not yet been uncovered.
Yeah, what the hell, Dan? Come on.
Yeah, not me, Dan. Other Dan.
2N Dan.
Yeah, 2N Dan. But we have our first brewery victim of the night so far. Is up at the microphone now. Astute listeners will remember a recent episode where Wayne and I traveled so far from South Philly to I guess that's Northern Liberties, right?
Yep.
Yeah. To Urban Village, and it's a wonderful time. I love the place so much. But we got Dave here with us. Dave, how are you, man?
Good. How you doing?
Doing fantastic. Thank you so much.
Did you say from Urban Village?
Yeah.
Okay.
In Northern Liberties.
In Northern Liberties. I heard Northern Liberties. Sometimes our intros get a little long, and I
so glad you listened to me. That's fine.
You know that by now.
Yeah. I know. I did not know you guys were going to be here, to be honest.
Yeah, this is our first year doing it. Dan with 2 N's had emailed me, and I was like, "Yeah, it sounds like fun. Kind of sit.
Awesome."
And this looks like a really cool event. When I agreed to it, I didn't realize how far from my house it was.
Yep,
but
it's a bit of a hike. Yeah,
you're in Jersey, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's even further than us. Yeah.
Yeah, we decided
Close for me.
That's right. You get this one.
So, but the only other time I've been to Reading was actually at this bar.
Oh, really?
And it was like 10 years ago.
That's
so
cool.
It's kind of funny.
Wow.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite spots in Reading.
I was just going to ask you if you've ever been here before, but there you go.
We recorded our 100th episode here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. In that corner over there.
Yeah.
Wow.
We had a PA system and everything. It was all live.
We recorded a lot here.
When I was here, I didn't make it past the front bar. So it was like a whole new world back
There.
here.
Yeah.
My homebrew club meets here, too.
Oh, yeah.
We have our meetings here every month. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a great place. It is awesome.
It's our home bar.
Now, I know you were telling Steph earlier what you are pouring, and one of them sounded like it was super up my alley.
Okay.
I feel like we should probably have the other one
We're going to save that
first.
one for a second.
I know. I'm just super excited, and I don't mean to cut right to the chase, because obviously it's great to see you again, and I'm sure there's lots of things we have to catch up on.
But we haven't had beer yet.
We haven't had beer yet.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
sorry.
drink up.
This is what happens when you're the first person from a brewery we have on the show at a fest. So the first one is the Wrong Way IPA, right?
Yep.
Tried and true. We had it when we were there. Right?
This is the U-Haul beer, right?
I'm not sure, but yes, this is the U-Haul
Yes.
beer.
We did not have it when we were there. We talked about it a lot.
Right,
We
that's
talked
right.
about the U-Haul story.
Yep.
There's a lot in the last call from that episode about the guy who was using your grain dumpster.
The grain dumpster.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We bleeped out his name.
we did. That's a pretty good episode. So go to patreon.com/beerbusters to figure out how you can listen to that. But we didn't have Wrong Way IPA. We had, I can't remember what it was your release at the time.
I'm trying to...
Insert other hazy IPA names here.
We have about 5 or 6 that we rotate through, and so it's hard to recall back then what we were drinking.
I literally just emptied my clipboard of all my notes from the
I
last.
might be able to
really?
find it in a second.
Was it the summertime? Summertime when you guys were up there, right?
Yeah, it was the night of the Billy Joel.
Yep. There it is. Urban Village.
Ben Folds concert. I remember that.
We had 52. We had Nectar with the cinnamon sticks because we all love cinnamon
Cinnamon
sticks.
sticks, that's right.
Sofa King.
Sofa King. Yep.
And then Second
Which has
Street.
just been released
from
again,
Brandon.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We just canned this.
And
I
then
saw that
Electric
on your
Mayhem. Yeah, we had rye bread in last call, I think.
Yep. Okay. So I think Sofa King would have been our hazy IPA that was on tap at the time.
At the time, yeah, that sounds right.
And we actually just a couple weeks ago canned and released Sofa King and Wrong Way that you're drinking right now.
You guys have been releasing a lot of cans and bottles. I feel like that's happening more often now.
Yeah, we paced it out right that we can do 2 to 3 brands at a time, can once every 4 weeks, and totally dial back kegging, and we can keep pace with what we need at the bar and manage to get those cans out.
And people are buying them, aren't they?
Yeah, we're going through them quickly. It's wonderful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So Sofa King is the one that is it about to be released or?
Sofa King's out.
It's
Sofa
out
King
now.
and Wrong Way. Sofa King, Wrong Way, and 52. We did a small batch of 52 that all got canned just recently.
Anything fun coming up for the holidays?
Yes, so we're going to can once a year. We make a beer called Merry Christmas. It's a spiced Belgian.
With cinnamon sticks?
There are cinnamon sticks in it, yes.
Of course.
That's one of the
Have to
core
be at this
ingredients.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love that beer.
We miss you,
I've been
Christian.
making that. I was home brewing that beer for years before we opened, and we'd always do it once a year. And like all our friends, we get excited for it. So we're actually going to can that. When are we? We're canning that soon. This month. And then the other beers we're canning that run are going to be Supervillain as a comeback, and Huntington Drive is a comeback. So those will be like the second time canning each of those. Merry Christmas will be the first time.
Is Merry Christmas the first can you've done that's not an IPA?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because every other one you mentioned, like, that's an IPA, that's an IPA, that's an IPA.
You know, we can only do so many.
Yeah.
And, we're doing a mobile canner, so we want products that are going to turn really quickly.
If you can only put a couple beers in cans, that's what you want to do.
Yeah, and that's the
definitely.
excitement.
Yeah.
But I think we're trying to, knowing that our format now is a decent quantity of 2 varieties and a small quantity of a third variety, we're trying to take advantage of that and make the third variety something that isn't an IPA.
Right.
And that product will be a little more shelf stable, and it won't be like, even if we sit on it, for say 2-3 months instead of 2-3 weeks, it's not the end of the world. That beer's still going to be delicious at that time, and it gives us a little bit more variety to offer to customers.
So, Dan, do you want to try it?
Is it time?
I think it's time for the Night Crawler.
Howler.
Oh.
Night Howler.
Howler. Oh, I thought it was Crawler.
Howler.
I was looking at the notes from the side.
Crawler would work
It's
too.
a Zootopia reference if you've ever seen the movie.
Oh, I haven't.
I haven't seen Zootopia.
You didn't see Zootopia?
I haven't. I
That
know. I
surprises
know.
Hey, Dan, have you ever seen Zootopia?
You know what? I have. Yeah, it's a good movie. Right up my alley.
This is a Dan beer, 100%.
I think it's a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I thought you were going to say it's 98% beer. Bring it on.
Yes.
Yeah, it's 150 proof or whatever.
If it's 98%,
It'd
wouldn't that it'd be that doubled?
Yeah, so
196?
96.
It's 196 proof is what I said.
Yeah.
Because I could do math.
Math is hard.
We make this beer once a year. This is our second round of it. Last year, it's a Imperial Stout called Tyson that we age in bourbon barrels.
Oh, my God.
This round is Bloody Butcher barrels from New Liberty.
Ooh, I haven't had that one.
It's really popular whiskey. It's delicious. This year's batch is really rich. It's very bourbon barrel forward.
Holy God.
Yeah, I knew you were going to love it.
We're not getting that.
You're not
back.
getting it back.
Probably not. No, it's okay.
Yeah, we're excited about it. As someone, I probably drink a similar amount of bourbon as I drink beer, so this is right up my alley.
Mine too.
Yeah.
I'm just about in the same boat.
Dan just came home with another super fancy bottle of bourbon. Jefferson's? the other
Yeah,
day?
I mean, it wasn't super fancy. It was
I don't know, the bottle
It was
was
on
fancy.
sale for $28 down from like 32. So
Okay.
it looks fancier than it is, kind of like me.
I don't know whiskey. It looked like a fancy bottle. That is really good, though.
Thank you.
It's got a nice,
I'll be
I'd
nice.
say like not spicy like hot, but it's got like a, I don't know, you get like a almost, I want to say like rye or like some kind of pepperiness, like faintly in the
Little bit,
background. Yeah, it's really
what
good.
I like is what was the ABV on this one? Was it 9 something?
10.
10. Okay.
10.
Even.
It doesn't feel like a 10% beer.
No, yeah,
which
I
is
think
dangerous.
There's so much flavor in there; it really masks any
Yeah.
of the booziness.
Yeah, like I'm not normally with the 10%, especially barrel aged imperial stout. I can feel it for a couple minutes afterwards, but it's already gone, which makes me want more.
Yeah, you really don't get like that fusel alcohol like burn or like aroma.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, I'm personally not a fan of super high ABV beers. I mean, certainly imperial stouts can handle it better than most, but 12's typically top of the market for me.
Yeah.
If I start to really taste the alcohol burn, I'm not into it.
12 is sessionable for Dan.
And I could drink that. I could almost session that one.
God, that is so good.
It is really nice. I do get a little bit of like alcohol heat like in the very back of my throat, but it's quick and it doesn't like stick around like you said. Mm-hmm. It's actually really smooth.
I'm sorry, it's really what?
Smooth.
Thank you. Now you said you do this once a year.
Yep.
It makes sense that you would do it fall into winter. Mm-hmm. When do you have to brew it then? And then how long do you age it?
So our process is we brew it in the summer, in July, and then we don't.
Oh, so this was going when we were there.
This might have been in the
Interesting.
tank. Yeah. So we do a crash to 40 degrees. We don't do a full crash. We let it rest for a few days at 40, try and drop out all the yeast, and then we transfer it into barrels. And we're doing that in the summer. So the barrel, the liquid's going to swell into the barrel. Then we get out of it late October, early November, in which now the beer's getting colder and is like retracting from the barrel. So you really get that one into the wood and out to really grab all the flavor out of it.
Yeah.
And now it's ready right when it's time to drink it.
What was the whiskey you did last year?
The whiskey.
You said this year was
Bloody Butcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I think? It's always New Liberty Barrel. I always use their stuff. They're my favorite distiller in the city right now. That's pretty much all I'm drinking at home. And I want to say I had their Dutch malt barrels last year.
Where are they in the city?
They're not far from us. They're on American Street.
Oh, wow.
In Fishtown.
Yeah.
Or it's Kensington. If you know where the homebrew shop is,
Yeah.
they're across the street.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I need to go back up that way then.
Yeah, they have really good stuff.
I'll make sure to fill my stomach with some good pizza from Urban Village first.
Yeah, you need a
and
good
then,
base.
yeah, you need a base.
Yeah, they don't have food.
Any super fancy crazy pizzas that are coming out of the kitchen? Any newer ones?
I haven't tried anything too new. I don't get to eat pizza as much as I'd like because one pizza is too much for me to eat. And half a pizza is not quite enough.
Yeah.
So it's like
I know that.
So when I'm at work, it's hard to find like the right grouping of people that I can eat pizza.
Well,
Yeah.
then you have leftovers. That's the beauty of pizza.
Yeah.
So you could do like pizza and then some of the beer cheese fries
Oh,
that you
God.
have. You could do like half and half, and then you have the other half and the other half later on.
I don't eat French fries at work. That's a
I don't eat French fries at work.
Probably a good move.
Good rule. Good
When I
rule.
worked at a restaurant when I was a teenager, I had all the mozzarella sticks I could ever want. Would you think I'd be
God.
sick of them? But they're still one of my favorite foods.
You're a
Oh,
simple
damn.
man.
Oh,
I really am.
Fancy whiskey and mozzarella sticks.
Yeah, exactly.
On that note,
Yes.
On that note.
Dave, you have an awesome fest ahead of you. I'm glad that we get to experience your first one.
Cool.
And I can't wait for the people to try both these. They're going to love them both.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to sneak back over for at least 2 more pours of the Night Howler.
Well, we'll hopefully have them here.
All right, cool. Awesome. Well,
Thanks,
thank you
man.
for coming up to the table.
Thanks,
Thanks for
Dave.
having me, guys.
Of course.
Yeah,
Have
great
fun.
seeing you all.
Yeah, cheers. I feel like it's only fair that since you and I already had Philly represented from Brewery, Steph,
This is true.
we'll give you a Reading brewery
this is
next.
literally the brewery closest to my house.
It is. I know.
Yes.
And I have been there. I was there, I think, only once, and I was blown away with the beers that I had. They were incredible. We're talking about Shaler Brewing, one of the newer breweries in the area.
Opened about a year ago?
Yeah, about a year, right?
22nd of November is going to be our 1 year.
Awesome.
Oh, wow, that's
well,
coming
hey,
soon.
happy early anniversary as of this recording. But we have Josh with us. Josh, how are you, man?
Fantastic.
Cool. Well, thank you for coming up to the table.
Yeah, happy to be here. First time on Beer Busters, too.
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
And your
Yes.
first Brewphoria, right?
It is,
Yeah.
correct.
Wow, a night of firsts.
Yeah.
We're doing a whole lot of initiation.
We're going to soon be like melted
I was going to say
into the
something
walls
really
here.
inappropriate,
Don't
but I didn't.
be inappropriate.
So, Josh, you'd said you're the brewer and one of the owners of Shaler, right?
Correct. Yep.
Awesome. Do you have any like assistant brewers with you, or is it just you?
I do. I have an assistant brewer. We're very much family friends that work at Shaler. So,
Oh, cool.
Opened it up. There's actually 7 of us that opened up Shaler. The name comes from my last name, Taylor, my brother-in-law, whose last name is Schmidt.
I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Oh.
So my assistant brewer is actually Luke's cousin, who's also a Schmidt. But
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny. It's like a portmanteau of 2 names, but when you see it, like it looks like a Pennsylvania Dutch name. You
Yeah.
think, oh,
No, it
Shaler,
totally
that
does.
makes sense. Yeah, that's
totally
a brewery
does.
that would be around here.
yeah.
So your spot is a former car dealership,
Yeah.
which it's not the first brewery we've had on the show. Saucony
yeah.
comes to mind. That seems to be a little bit of a trend, because opening a brewery costs a lot of money. And so what attracted you guys to that spot? Was it the location? I mean, it is a great location right on, I guess that's Lancaster Ave, right?
yeah,
Is
yeah,
that
right on Lancaster Ave.
And or was it affordable? Was it the size? What was it that attracted you to that spot?
Definitely affordable, but when we were looking for a spot, we really wanted. One of our goals was to open, an outdoor area, a big outdoor area, and nothing better than an old car dealership that has a huge lot.
Yeah.
That they displayed all the cars and everything to do that. So that was one of the big reasons that we went with this place. We also looked at a big open concept, so we like the. Very social, open. Our bar is kind of the centerpiece of the place.
Yeah, it's huge.
And and everything kind of works around that. So, those were probably two big things.
And the outdoor space came to fruition this year.
It did,
Which is
yeah.
super cool. I was curious when I saw the construction, like, how are they going to make this concrete jungle back there turn into a really comfy outdoor space? But you definitely did that.
Yeah.
So talk about that process.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a project, but it's actually our outdoor area is actually more square footage than the inside of our building. So it's a big spot. We have cornhole, can jam, ladder golf, all that stuff out there. Seats about 50 people. We have a couple of pergolas too for some private dining. But yeah, it's cool.
I played Can Jam for the first time over the summer on vacation, and I didn't realize how physical the game could get.
It's not golf.
And it's not. I mean, obviously, but I took a couple of tumbles. Is the Can Jam set up on the lot, or do you have is it?
It's actually stone.
Oh God!
It's actually it's stone.
I would have bled
So
all over the place.
It's better than concrete
True.
for taking spills.
Got
but,
a little more give to it.
Yeah,
than just
yeah.
straight
Well,
asphalt.
to be fair, when I played it, I was pretty drunk, and it was on a beach.
Yeah,
fair enough.
The sand definitely brings out the drunk in you too.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. I knew there were some liberties that I could take, of course.
And they do brew beers at Shaler that are very Dan friendly with lots of adjuncts and lots
Yep.
of fun combinations of flavors. But you brought Paradisity as the first one, right? Your pale ale.
Correct. Yep.
So is this just straight pale ale, or is there anything crazy in this one?
Nothing crazy. Straight pale ale, hazy. On the hazy
Of
side.
course,
so
it
it's
has
hop-
to be, right?
Yeah. It's
What-
hop very heavily.
What's the name of it again? I'm so sorry.
Paradisity.
Paradisity.
Yeah.
Okay.
So where did that name come from?
So when I designed the recipe, I was actually on Paradise Island in the Bahamas, at Atlantis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was listening to a Mod Sun song. I don't even remember the lyrics from the song, but Paradisity just kind of popped in my head for the name. And I named, because I design a lot of different recipes. Some make it onto the board at Shaler, some don't. But you have to stick a name to all your beers.
Right.
So yeah, that was a name we just came up with, and yeah, it stuck.
Out of the blue.
And this
Yep.
is one that is this a regular beer for you? I know it's been on more than once.
Yeah.
So is this because every time I come to your brewery, it seems like you have all new beers, and it's really exciting to try different things. But this is one that's kind of come around a few times.
Yeah, it comes back. So we don't have we have our Dr. Rick Marshall, which is an IPA, and our Pineapple Express. Those really are the only two that are going to be consistently on tap. We bring a lot of recipes back, but we like to keep it. That's how we like to drink craft beer. Is we like to try new things.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how we brew, And for me as a brewer, I like to try to brew new things. That's what keeps it fun,
And I think
interesting.
it keeps people coming back, because I think
For sure.
a lot of craft beer drinkers, they go to the new breweries, they want to try the new thing, and then if they go back to your brewery like a month later, it's all the same beers. Oh, well, there's a new brewery down the street. Let's go try there. I haven't had that yet.
Yeah.
So if you constantly have new beers for people to try, it's
Yeah.
going to bring people in the door.
Yeah.
So speaking of creating new things,
So this one is called, I'll let you say it.
It's Smorio
Yeah.
Speedwagon. Yes.
wow.
This was, I think, my favorite one when I was there. I tend to gravitate towards dark beers.
Yeah.
And everything I had was good. This took the cake for me. This is so good.
Yeah, very, very much a dessert beer, I guess you could say. There's a lot of flavor going on. Definitely a true sweet stout.
Yeah, this is definitely a
You know
damn
what
beer.
though? But it's not overly sweet. I was a little afraid knowing the name and knowing what was going into it, but it's still it's really delicious. So what is in it to make it taste like that?
Well, there's a lot. Like I said, there's a lot going on there. But this was actually designed, so we make our own cold brew coffee as well. And we do mint Oreo coffee. So we were like, why not try to throw some Oreos in a beer? And that's kind of the start of Smorio Speedwagon.
Very cool.
But-
So you used actual Oreos in secondary? Is that when you added them?
Yep. So they sat on there for about 2 weeks with cinnamon stick, vanilla bean. There's some graham cracker in the mash tun.
There's more cinnamon sticks.
More cinnamon
that's a
sticks.
theme.
That's a trend tonight.
Everybody loves cinnamon.
Yeah, it's hard to hate.
It is true. That's very, very true. Although we have had a brewery on where they weren't allowed to use vanilla beans because
That's true.
the owner did not like vanilla beans.
Oh.
I'll let you let that stir around, see if you can remember what episode.
I remember which one it
It
was.
would be a fitting episode for you to forget. There's your
That's
hint.
true. That's your hint. An episode where we drank more than beer.
That's right.
Whoa. Hey, the
Mood
lights just went
lighting.
out.
It's getting dark in
Are we
here.
getting rated?
Perhaps. Well, the doors are open. People are starting to flow in. The buffet has started. Rich is already eating.
Yeah, I'm not.
So, Josh, make sure you get some mac and cheese.
Yes,
get
you
some
have to.
food.
Heck
Enjoy
yeah.
your first Brewphoria, and hopefully it will be your first of many. And we have to connect so we can actually record
I was
at
gonna say,
Shaler. It
for
seems
sure.
silly
For
not
sure.
to.
Can't be another hometown brewery, and we don't record there. We have
For
to
sure.
get there.
Yeah, absolutely. Would
So
absolutely love to have
we'll
you guys.
set that up.
Yeah.
We'll make it happen.
We'll
Cool.
make it happen.
Awesome.
Thanks.
You guys are
Yeah,
awesome.
Josh, appreciate
Cheers.
it, man.
Yes,
Thanks,
fist
man.
bump.
Fist
Podcast
bump.
fist
All
bump.
right.
Love it.
Cool.
Thanks.
Cheers, man.
Last time we were at this next brewery, a lot of shit happened,
Yeah,
and we
it
had
did.
a lot of beer.
We had a lot
Every
of
time
beer.
we're at this brewery,
Well,
a
that's
lot
true.
of shit happens.
It's
and we have
the
a lot of beer.
only time that we've ever had legitimately a pallet full of beer roll
We
out
did.
for us.
We did. That
And
was
it was
pretty
pretty
epic.
impressive. Of course, we're talking about Levante, and we have Eric with us, who was kind enough to donate some time tonight. Eric, how are you, man?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you doing?
Doing so good. Thank you for coming to the table.
No, this is awesome. I am so excited to be in Reading tonight.
Said no one. I'm just kidding.
Said no one ever. No, said this is amazing, especially Canal Street. We have not done a ton of wholesaling up this way, distributing up this way, but this is a place we're loving to get started. So.
Definitely a good place to be.
Oh, yeah.
And have you guys done Brewphoria in the past?
This is our first year.
This is your first time as well?
Yep.
How many people
It's
now?
another first, yeah.
Another first. Everybody we've had on this is their first Brewphoria.
Every time someone says that, I feel old.
This is my first.
I know, right?
It's such a great fest, and I can't say it enough, man. The people that are here genuinely appreciate craft beer. They're going to love they should love everything that comes out of Levante, period, but I'm sure they're going to love what you have tonight because you have, I've already forgotten which beers, but I remember saying that I like them. Oh, God. What beer?
Well, isn't this the first beer he brought was Cloudy and Cumbersome?
Right, which we had
at Suburban.
Yes.
We recorded a podcast at Suburban
Beer Garden?
Brewing
No, the
Company.
brewery at
Very
Honey
nice.
The actual brewing. That unfortunately Steph was absent for because she had some medical stuff going on. But as soon as we got there, the first thing they did was they handed us a can of Cloudy and Cumbersome.
That's excellent.
Like, yeah, we're drinking this, guys.
The owner, Eric, is a very, very close friend of ours. So
Yeah, it's a cool spot.
Cool.
Yeah, awesome.
So we have that one. So, Steph, you haven't had that beer yet, have you?
Cloudy and Cumbersome?
Have you?
Yes, I've had it.
Really? Okay. Never mind.
I drink
Sorry.
a lot of beer. Do you forget?
Well,
So
don't.
should we just jump right
You
into that
don't
and
now.
start
Not at
drinking
all.
it?
Let's start sipping it.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got your fancy, actual glass, too.
Listen, with this comes privileges. With this comes privileges. I was kind of searching around, and Sean from Le Cabra was nice enough to hand me that.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh,
See,
cool.
we've learned to bring the plasticware to events like this.
I know. I usually bring a plastic solo cup.
Yeah.
Usually is what I do.
Because usually somebody breaks something by the end.
That's
of
like
it.
the other end of the spectrum. You've got like a nice tumbler that you could put some whiskey or a nice cocktail in, and a red solo cup.
Of course.
That's it. That's what I do.
We have our Beer Busters branded Ephrata Brewfest.
Ephrata Brewfest. That's cool.
Branded only because we put a sticker
Yeah, we
on
made
them.
our own by putting stickers on them. Yeah. Actually, didn't we put these on because we had them somewhere we weren't allowed
Yes,
to
Yes,
we
have?
took them
contraband.
to Atlantic
AC.
City Beer Fest.
And they're like, you can't have
There were
outside
very
glassware.
strict rules that you could not drink from glassware that was not AC Beer Fest. But they use the exact same mugs, but just with their logo
would-
on. So we're like,
Ooh.
problem solved.
We just put
you
our
have no
sticker
idea.
I've heard some interesting stories from Atlantic City Brewfest.
Oh,
yeah,
It
and
was-
there's probably so many more that nobody will ever tell again.
It's a long weekend.
Yeah, we're weighing going. or not,
Especially
so.
for people that work the event, it's a long
Yeah,
weekend.
Yeah, it's hefty.
So Cloudy and Cumbersome, what did you think?
Love it.
All right,
Love it. It's nice and crisp, and you get the hoppiness out of it. There's a nice biscuity aspect to it too, which I love.
Very much so, and that's the weedy aspect of New England style IPAs is. I think we nailed that.
So I'm drinking my Wheaties.
You are the weedy aspect. Yeah,
Weedy.
Wheat.
Yeah, Wheatie.
Not only that,
Weed.
5.9% ABV with your Wheaties. That's what I'm talking
Super
Yeah.
sessionable.
Can't go wrong.
Now, you guys are canning a shit ton of beers right now. You're like turning into the Vale of the North, I feel like.
about. Shit ton of beer.
You
yes.
guys like canning and releasing so many different beers, so many unique beers. What the hell is going on there?
I have a side story for you. So
Ooh.
I'm glad you mentioned shit ton.
Okay.
I echo back to high school a long, long time ago. One of my teachers sent one of the students, because he was pissing him off that whole day, and he said, "I want you to go to the principal's office and give me a shit ton of demerits." And they were paper at that time, so
Yep.
the guy walks away, comes back, and brings a stack of demerits. He sat there and counted them and said, "Officially, guys, just so you know, a shit ton equals 74." That's a shit ton. So, in my mind, every time somebody says shit ton, I think
74.
Yep.
This is
shit
the
ton.
first thing that's going on my list for tonight.
Yeah, for our listeners at
Yeah.
home.
Mr. Miller. Gotta love that guy.
Shit ton. Would it have two T's?
Shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shit ton.
It's or shiton.
Shiton.
with an accent.
Yeah. Or an umlaut. Put an umlaut on it.
And why not?
73 or 74?
74.
I forget
74.
already.
Yep.
And why not put a tilde on the end? Also,
Shut the hell up.
Why don't you put a shut the hell up on the end of it?
yeah.
But yes, we are canning a shit ton of beers. Levante has always been about innovation, new, different. And especially with our canned products, that's what we're hoping for. It's our way of experimenting and playing and just having a good old time. Not only that, the beer industry themselves, the beer drinkers, I think that's just where everybody is. We want new, we want different, we want exciting. So that's what we've tried to do, try to give people. And it's been working.
So you have exactly 74 beers in cans.
Actually working on a double shit ton. So.
Oh, it's double shit.
Yeah, 158, 48.
Quick math.
There you go.
All right, there you go.
Good save. Good save.
So, yeah.
Better than the one I tried to do earlier.
That's true.
98 times 2 is 196.
Yeah.
So if you're canning a shit ton of beers or a double shit ton, how far are you sending them? Are they just to the brewery or do you distribute?
Just to the brewery for now. Yes,
For now. Was I not supposed to catch that?
You definitely caught that. No, actually, we have talked a little bit about sending some of our core products out. We have not decided yet to do that, but yeah, from the brewery only for now. So it makes it again a little more unique.
It's more of a destination then.
Destination brings people into our place, see our culture, not only our product. So
right, yeah, definitely,
yeah.
So not only are you guys releasing a shit ton, you're also doing a shit ton of collaborations as well.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You're working with someone new. It seems like every week.
We are, and collaborations are an amazing thing. We set out to secure collaborations based upon a few things, but the first and foremost is mutual benefit for both breweries. What we've learned from doing all these collaborations is we learn a lot from these breweries, and that's an amazing thing. There's things that people do out in this world, other breweries that we have never heard of. So we've learned so much from.
And you teach them more crushy, less crushy.
Exactly, yes. And how to roll out pallets of beer for beer busters. But I am not going to let the cat out of the bag, but we have an amazing collaboration coming up in a couple weeks that it is with a brewery from out of state, a very highly rated brewery. So
north of here, south of here, west of here. Or east of here.
It's
even.
Definitely south of here. So
definitely south.
So yeah, you're going to be hearing about this in a couple weeks. It's exciting. We are super psyched about it.
Everybody text in your guesses now. 285-991-BEER.
So who?
Exactly.
Go ahead
Cigar
and mention
City.
some of the breweries that you have been collaborating with.
We actually just came off of a collaboration with Lost Tavern Brewing Company, a very small brewery, Hellertown, I think it is. Great guys. We actually met them at CBC this year down in Nashville, hung out with them a little bit, and that's kind of how the collaboration started. We really go after like-minded breweries, high on quality, basically just, and exciting and new and adventurous. So we just did that with them. Our friends over in the corner here, Free Will, we did a couple collaborations with them.
They collab with everyone.
They get around.
Yeah.
They get around.
But they are such fun
They
people.
are, and they have a really awesome facility.
Oh my gosh,
to brew in also.
And I'm Anthony over there. He's one of my favorite people in the industry, and us on the sales side, we kind of tend to stick together. And he's a guy that I go to a lot, so really appreciate that. But yeah, it's collaboration is so important, just from a learning aspect. So
Yeah, definitely.
cool. I'm gonna take a sip of beer real quick.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
You deserve it. Yeah.
Well, I really want to sip this next one.
I know.
Yeah, this one's right up
Excited
your
for
alley.
this.
'Cause this one's a Keller Pills next up, right?
Yes.
This is a cryo-hopped
Cryo hopped. I forgot
Keller
that part.
Pills. Yes, that's okay. Yeah, so cryo hopping is a fairly new process. If you think of cryogenics, it's exactly what they do with these hops.
I think we learned about this when we were recording with Meredith.
Yeah.
So the alpha level is a lot higher, right?
A lot higher, and also the yield is, well, let's say the amount needed is a heck of a lot lower. So because of what they do, so
Right.
it adds such an amazing aspect to a Pilsner. Let's just say. So we are super excited about this as a brewery. Obviously, IPAs rule the world, and we all know that. Here's a little bit of a touch of IPA in a classic Keller Pils. So,
Wow.
yeah, and that's what I sipped before you guys sipped. So I'm still kind of like, it's something that we're very proud of, and we're going to continue to brew. There's a few staple beers that we do, the Tickle Parts, Cloudy and Cumbersome, and year-round, but we're trying to get this into our lineup, not only for our retail space, but our wholesale as well, because I think it's that special.
What's the name of this one?
It's Form.
Form.
Form. Yes.
I really like it. It's super layered.
Yep.
oh God, there's other words that are trying to form that can't.
Well,
Form. You said form. He said form.
It's the word of the day.
But
that and shit ton.
And double shit ton.
And metric fuck ton.
Metric fuck
That
ton.
hasn't come out for a while.
It hasn't. Oh God, remember the
So
word
speaking
wall?
of metric fuck ton,
Uh-oh.
you guys keep putting more and more equipment into that. Now you have a pretty big space there, but I especially recently a lot more fermentation vessels going in.
That lot of space that we have became not so a lot of space. So funny enough, I knew this was coming. We actually just took possession of 5 new 30-barrel fermenters and 2 new 30-barrel bright tanks, which in essence put our production up about 89%. So a huge move for us. And there's a little more equipment coming down the road as well, and I won't clue into that, but we have taken a step in the right direction here. We're going to cap out at about 7,500 barrels next year. Wow. So it's in essence we almost doubled our production.
Good job. That's great.
Yeah. Funny enough, I knew it was coming. I knew the equipment was on its way. We watched it come off the boat in North Carolina, and get on a truck. I actually took a trip to California, to Napa Valley recently. And I left, and there was plenty of space in our brewery. I came back, and there's not so much space. so yeah, it's exciting to see. With any type of growth, a company needs to be very careful with it, and we have managed to do that. We made sure that we were ready and able to do this production increase, and we're there now. So.
Not getting in over your head.
Well, and the people want the beer. So
Exactly. Yeah. People want it.
Congratulations on the growth. Congratulations on your continued success, and your reputation just is becoming.
Thank you.
Yeah,
amazing.
you guys have made a hell of a mark.
Thank you.
For sure.
Thank you guys so much, and I'm very much looking forward to you guys coming to our place again.
As long as
please.
Tim has the pallet ready for us,
we'll be
there.
Well, 2 pallets.
Yes.
That's the metric fuck ton.
That's a double fuck ton. Double fuck ton.
Well, that's a double fuck ton.
Double down fuck ton.
Yeah.
Double down fuck
You
ton.
guys
That's going to be the name of the episode.
Oh my gosh.
I love that. I love that.
One of my favorite clips came from him.
Do you guys want a bonus beer?
Yes, that is a good one. That is a good one.
We do use that one frequently.
We do.
Yeah.
I love that.
That should be like you're on your phone when you get a text.
From him.
Yes. That would
a
be
bonus beer?
You want a bonus beer? That's cool.
We'll send you the auto clip.
Please.
Well, as always, it's good to see you.
Guys, thank you
get
so
back to
much.
thank
serving
you.
the people.
Hope you guys get to enjoy some of these beers here tonight.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
for
Definitely.
sure.
Awesome.
Cheers.
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 Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you.
One of my favorite things about this fest is getting to catch up with people that we see year after year after year here. And it's cool to see how the breweries have grown and the different things that they'll bring here. But we have joining us from Peak Organic, we have John making a triumphant return. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you guys doing today?
Great, man. Thank you for coming up to the table.
Yeah, of course. Love it. It's an annual tradition at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's such a
definitely.
great fest. And it was a close call for us being here. We almost couldn't make it this year.
Really?
Mostly because of me, not going to lie. But I'm glad we are, so we get to catch
Totally
up.
because of you.
It's all because
Not
of me.
mostly.
Yeah, work schedules and all.
It's fine.
Glad we're all here.
Yeah, me too. I was at a Phillies game back in September, and we were tailgating. Of course, you have to. It was a beautiful day. So there were 2 cars that I was with, both friends of mine. My friend's mom had a cooler of like Coors and Miller and generic.
I'm going to guess this is going somewhere.
It is. But one of my friends, who was in the other car, had a cooler of like all craft beer and all local beer. And he's like, yeah, go in and get a beer. It's like, all right, cool. I'll get something you have a couple of. And I spotted a Peak can. I was like, this is mine.
My
He's
man.
like, do you mind if I have this? Of course, go ahead. I was like, I'm at least going to give you a sip of it. And I had to look up at my Untapped to figure out what it was. It was the juice.
Nice.
And it was great beer.
Nice. Yeah, that is a fan favorite for sure. It came out a couple of years ago, and I think it was right at the forefront of this New England style IPA craze. And
Yeah.
while we call it a pale ale, it's definitely in that vein. It's very cloudy. Pretty much every hop in there is dry hopped. It's kind of in that juicy, bright, citrusy, easy drinking, and that's kind of what all the beers we do are down that road for sure. So appreciate it.
Yeah,
Glad you're a
it
fan.
was delicious, and it was a great way to start the day, except for the fact that the Phillies lost pretty badly that day. That part was terrible.
Yeah.
But what's new in the world of Peak Organic? What's new in the world of John?
Yeah, things are great. We're Peak's had a really solid year. We're growing every year. Recently just found out we're the 9th largest brewery on the East Coast.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
which I had no idea about. The organic farming industry is growing as quickly as we are, and it's awesome to be able to showcase what our farmers can do.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so and about this time last year, I think we had just came out with it. Last time I talked to you guys, but we updated our full kind of portfolio in terms of brand design, management, package design, went fully to cans,
right? Yes.
And updated everything. So
yeah, I do remember that. We talked to you that last year here at the fest.
Right.
I still remember the year before that was when we first met you. Your first time.
That's
here.
right. Yep.
That was one of the highlights, I think, of that year. That was it's really cool. We come back to this fest this 5 times now, and we see a lot of the same hometown breweries, but every year there's new ones. I think. Yep. You're the first person we've had on tonight who has been here before, right?
That's true. Yeah, this was everybody else's first.
Now these other breweries we knew, from recording at other places or other fests, but we had Urban Village, Shaler, and Levante all on so far,
nice.
And their first year here for all of them, so that's really cool.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I mean, I think Dan does a good job of keeping some of the breweries that have been here before, but then also rotating in a good cast of. New, like the ones you mentioned are local. There's a couple other Le Cabres here. They're local. A bunch of these new guys that are popping up. Supporting that local brewery scene, which is exploding around this area as it is everywhere. So,
and I think it is. And we talked about this with Dan a little bit at the beginning. This isn't a fest where it's just like any brewery can come. Like they're very specific about who they invite because there's only so much space here, and it is a fest where the attendees expect. I think something a little more than you might at just your run-of-the-mill beer fest. So
for sure,
to be here for the first time, to be here for the third time, to be here every year since the beginning is an honor. So
yeah, definitely, I love it. Happy to be here.
Yeah, let's drink some beer.
I was going to say, let's go.
Yeah. Now you had said before we started recording which ones you have. Forgive me, it's been a long day. I forget what they are.
No worries
at this point. So what do we have?
So we have one of our standbys. We have Fresh Cut. It's our dry hop Pilsner. I think we may have done that before.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, I try to bring it to every fest because it's 4.6%.
Freaking awesome.
And tasty, and you can drink a whole hell of a lot of it.
Actually, Dan's story about tailgating, I thought was going to end with Fresh Cut.
That is the perfect tailgating beer.
It is my tailgating beer for sure. But
the juice was pretty good, not going to lie.
Hey.
So, Dan, why don't you sip that Pilsner and pass it down this way?
Is it this one?
I believe so. Yep. That's right.
Oh, that looks like a Pilsner.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love that beer. And this comes in the tall cans, right?
So this is actually the 12-ounce. So the big brother of Fresh Cut, Super Fresh.
Super Fresh, that's right.
That comes in the 16-ounce. That's right.
I was off the mic for a few moments. So did you talk about Hop Noir yet?
No, I haven't.
We didn't get there
yet.
So,
yeah.
I'm very curious about this beer. So
that's awesome. So this is kind of funny because we really debated about whether or not to bring this beer back. We had a black IPA a number of years ago called Hop Noir, and it was a traditional black IPA. It was piney, it was dank, it was malty, it was just excess of everything. And in the past year, we've done these double IPAs, New England style double IPAs, a lot lighter, very different than black IPAs, and we wanted to bring back Hop Noir. Except it's not a black IPA. It's an IPA with chocolate malt.
Whoa.
But it's a double IPA, New England style double IPA with like a touch of chocolate malt. So it's dark, but it's not thick, it's not heavy.
Okay.
I haven't tried it yet this year. It's coming out in the next few weeks.
Interesting.
I'm really excited about it, but it does have this kind of like cult following, as most black IPAs do, where very love it or hate it. So we'll see. I'm really pumped for it. I've had, right when we had like an Instagram post that I think you probably saw, and I had like 4 or 5 bar managers text me like the minute that came out. We're like, give me this beer.
Awesome.
And I'm sure there's going to be like 6 or 7 more that want it, and then everyone else doesn't want anything to do with the black IPA.
It is very divisive. Yeah.
So I'm excited for that one.
I feel like I haven't seen a whole lot of black. I mean, that was obviously a big thing a few years ago. So I wonder if we're going to start to see a comeback now.
Yeah, I mean,
I would approve of that.
Yeah, I think it kind of follows that trend of where IPAs have gone from it used to be like, I want the biggest bitter bomb, piney, insane ABV, everything, to a New England style pale ale where it's like I can drink 10 of these and not even realize it.
Yeah.
Where black IPAs kind of fell in that first category, and so they've kind of fallen by the wayside. But I feel like there's going to be a couple kind of coming back.
Yeah.
Seeing how they do. So.
That and the brewed IPA. We're still trying to see if the brewed IPA is going to kick off.
A glorified West Coast IPA.
A champagne IPA.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Speaking of IPAs, it is autumn.
Yeah.
And your next one is your autumn IPA.
Good segue.
That's right. Very cool.
Sorry, I'm not used to cups starting over here.
Yeah, you're usually at the end of the line, but
So yeah, this autumn IPA was the first. So we came out with it last year for the first time, and it's the first of our renewed kind of seasonal line. And we basically decided to do all IPAs for our seasonals. Radical idea.
Gee, I wonder why you decided that.
We used to do like an Oktoberfest. We had like a winter, like a Bock kind of, and they were doing okay as like a lot of the seasonal market kind of plateaued and sank in a lot of areas. We just decided to do these awesome New England style IPAs for each season. Autumn was the first one. It's a session IPA, 4.7. Similar hop profile to the Juice. It's a very similar beer, just kind of toned down a little bit. And it took off. And this past year of seasonals was our best year of seasonals ever in our company's history, which we were excited about because in a time of the market where a lot of companies' seasonals are struggling, it's crowded with pumpkins and Oktoberfests. Like, don't worry, we just got a session IPA. It's not crazy. Just drink it.
Right.
So, and I love this beer. It came out well.
It's great.
It's really good, and I'm very happy that you're being very successcessful. I am very sad that you said the words, we used to have an Oktoberfest.
And we used to have a Bock.
Yeah.
That makes me sad.
It was called Hop Harvest Oktoberfest. It was a hoppy Oktoberfest. Loved that beer.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites. I think we actually may have had that my first year here.
I
might be wrong
remember.
about that.
Yeah,
maybe it was the winter. But it's RIP. Maybe it'll come back. It's on the shelf.
So. I mean, but I'm glad
if
you're doing well.
the black
Glad the
IPA
beers
can
are doing
come
well.
back,
That's true.
right.
That's
there's
true.
hope. There's hope.
That's right. Be a limited release in the fall.
There you go.
Limited edition. Well, John, it's always awesome catching up with you. Almost everyone who's been on so far, it's their first time.
Yeah, we did say that while you were off the mic.
Well, it's kind of comforting to
It's okay.
have
You were selling
Brewphoria.
veteran.
You were selling
That's right.
T-shirts. It's okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
you are a veteran of this fest at this point.
That's
and
right. Old head.
I'm hoping that the crowd enjoys these beers. I mean, how could they not, to be honest?
They got to be.
So,
They
yeah.
keep bringing him back.
That's
so.
true, yeah.
That's true. That's a very,
For sure.
very good point.
For sure. It must be doing something right.
Exactly.
Put in a good word up the chain for the return of the Oktoberfest and
Yeah,
the
we'll
Bock,
do.
of
We'll
course.
do. Hey, I mean, we got the campaign for the Black IPA. We actually have been fighting the campaign to get the brown ale back.
Oh,
So,
okay.
just my boss just sent me a couple mock-up images of a nut brown can, 16-ounce can. So
That would be awesome.
That's exciting.
we'll
Hopefully
see.
next year's Brewphoria we'll be drinking that.
That's right.
Yeah.
When
That's the plan.
I know you said the Black IPA is coming out soon. Is there an official release date for it?
So I just got word that shipment to Pennsylvania should be happening in the next week or so.
Oh,
so
cool.
I'm looking at end of November.
So by the time this airs, go out and get it.
Yes.
You can
For
find
sure,
it.
Sounds
Yes,
right.
Definitely.
Cool. Yeah,
That's
John,
cool.
thank you for coming up to the table, man, and
thanks a
sharing
lot.
these with us.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, likewise, man. Cool.
Thanks.
Have fun out there.
Take care.
Cool.
Thanks, man.
Cheers. In a Beer Busters first, we have a wrench at the table. And I'm trying to think if we've had other tools at the table, too.
We've had
Are
weapons.
we including people?
I was wondering
Yeah.
if somebody was going to ask that, and I'm glad it was
But,
you. But we have joining us now a man who so far decided to leave is not a tool. We have joining us from Conshohocken Brewing. We have Max with us. Max, how are you, man?
Doing delightful, man. Glad to be here.
Well, thanks for coming up here. It's so far, it's gold. It's radio gold from just the things that the people out in the world won't hear. So I can only
Sure.
imagine what's coming out now.
Well, you know what? You might get a chance to hear that if you sign up for our newsletter or our
True,
Patreon.
because that'll probably
That'll
be
probably
an
end up in the outtakes
Probably
reel.
an outtake.
Off the air, I'm even funnier.
Yes. So, Max, you say you're in sales for Conshohocken. You've been doing it for about 3 months now.
Correct.
How's that been?
It's been incredible, man.
Yeah.
Being a part of the winning team over at Conchi has been unreal. It's a really incredible group of folks. The guys I get to work with every day, and just getting to be out on the road, driving all around Montgomery County, Bucks County, Lehigh Valley, and Berks. The kind of different folks you meet, the rich tapestry of individuals you get to meet, and the various ways I am told to piss off. It's just, I can't even tell you how many ways.
Yeah, I
What's
could
your
imagine.
favorite way?
Are we live? I don't know. What's the rich plethora of vocabulary that's available to me
We're
at
going
this
to specify this way. We're not live, but we are on the internet, so you can say whatever you want.
All right, okay, fair enough. My personal favorite then was going into an establishment up in, I will not say where, this was up in Allentown, and so you get into a lot
Say
of the...
where, but not where.
Yeah. So I'm right on the fringes of Pennsylvania. I go into a corner bar. This is sort of if you can imagine a Patty's Pub from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but it's in sort of North Bucks, Lower Allentown type area. And I walk in, and this guy, somehow it's amazing how a southern accent can occur in Pennsylvania, as a side note. And I walk in, and this guy goes,
Appalachia.
"Boy, you look as queer as a $3 bill."
What?
and you're here to talk about beer? I was like, I didn't realize I was coming in to be roasted. It would have been really cool if somebody would have given me the information on that ahead of time, but it's, what are you going to do about it?
Wow.
It is what it is, my man. So.
I'd only shudder to think what that man would have said if he had been confronted by a female serving him his beer, or even brewing that beer, because God forbid.
God forbid. Yeah.
I'd kick him with my steel-tip pink boots.
Your steel-tip pink boots. I like that. Yes, with the spikes on the front.
Listen, I didn't have my wrench on me at the time, so I felt very weaponless.
That's why you carry it with you. The truth has come out.
An important lesson
It's out there in the open now. I'm sorry to say.
Because a wrench you can pass off as an actual usable tool, but it also makes a good weapon in a tight spot.
It does. And I'm not that large a man to begin with, so maybe that's why I feel confident with the disparaging remarks. So, hey, I brought it with me today.
If you drive with a baseball bat in your car, your lawyer will thank you if you also have a glove and a baseball. Just remember that.
Okay.
Don't have a single golf club. Have the entire set.
I will say,
gotcha. Plausible deniability.
Exactly.
I hear you. Okay.
If in the probably likely chance that we have you back on the podcast somewhere at some time in the future and you don't have your wrench, we will know that you have learned to trust us.
I knew it was going to be at least 3v1. I was assuming 4v1. Again, I've got the weight discrepancy on my side.
If Rich jumps in, but he's busy eating.
It's true.
Listen, I don't want to take this man away from this food. If nobody has ever been to the Canal Street Pub, I'm going to give them a shout-out. Their food is incredible.
It's great, especially the buffet here, man. That mac and cheese is to die for.
I would do heinous things for the mac and cheese. I'm comfortable saying that. I'm very comfortable.
Can we drink beer yet, guys?
I think we probably should. Yeah, there's that beer.
Yes, let's get to the business at hand. So, what are we doing first, boys? Boys and girls. Excuse me. Pardon me.
Type A.
Type A. Beautiful. So I have a whole full cup for you guys right here.
All right.
Let me give the information for the people.
Yes,
please, the information.
The people need to know.
It has a light grain bill. I would characterize this as being West Coast style. It's brewed with citrus, Simcoe, and Mosaic hops, triple hop, dry hop. It is delicious. You get a little bit of grapefruit tangerine over the top. Dangerously easy to drink despite being 7%. Let's get a little schwasty, folks.
This is the IPA I miss.
This is old school.
This is the IPA I miss.
Yeah, none of that New England business.
Oh, thank you.
None of that New England business. I like this man already.
We do have a rotating patchwork series, however,
and he's pouring the beer for us.
Thank you. New England.
Oh, that's
I
good.
got some.
Oh, you got some already? All right, this one's for me then.
Have some.
All right. Salute, prost, etc.
Thank you.
Etc. This is
L'chaim.
This is delicious. This is absolutely incredible.
This is like you said, what IPAs used to be.
It's an old school IPA, and I hate saying that because it's like this is what it should be. This is what it was. It's evolved into something.
To be fair,
it's
not even that old school. Like,
I know.
We're only talking a few years ago. When
6 years ago, really.
Yeah, people were really into this style.
So
of
this
IPA.
is for the listeners at home. This is right where we got out of the phase where it felt like you had to fight your IPAs to drink them.
Right.
This is not a hot bomb to wreck your palate. This isn't that. This is something that just has that great bite up front. You get a crisp finish at the back end, and you've got malt all throughout. Shout out to our head brewer, Andrew Horn. Beautiful man. Does unbelievable stuff in the brewery. Unreal guy. Great beer he makes.
Can you believe it was episode 36?
I was going to ask if we had that number.
Andrew and Charlie and Ken on.
Yeah, way back when. That had to be 2014. Yes, probably 2014.
Would have been 2014.
Yeah, summer 2014.
And that was when it was only the OG location in Conshohocken. Now there's the Bridgeport Pub.
Yep.
There's the Rec Room in Phoenixville.
And Town Tap in Havertown that just opened up last March, I believe.
Very cool, man.
Yeah, 4 locations. And I'm happy to tell you all right now, you might not have heard this, but
breaking news.
We just broke ground on a new production facility over in King of Prussia. So right now we are making about 6,800 barrels per year. Moving into 2019, at the end of February, we will be making between 15 to 17,000 barrels of Conshohocken brewing product a year.
Nice. That's incredible.
Wow. Get excited. And hey, we would love to have you folks over to the new location when we open up.
It's been too long.
It has been way too long. Well, it's been like 4 years, we just said. I didn't mean that in a dismissive way. I'm sorry. I'm curious though. Is it just a production facility, or is it going to have like a tap room, tasting room kind of thing?
Not only does it have a tasting room, my man. Check this out.
Oh boy,
it has
got a carousel,
mini, bro. I wish.
Roller coaster.
Listen. I can't tell you about the roller coaster
it's
yet.
Not
That's
workhorse.
in the future. It's in the future.
Workhorse.
It's not Workhorse. Come on. So yeah, Workhorse has already narrowed that market. Come on. So this is going to be, we have a, it's in a business park over in KOP, but the spot that we bought out actually has a mini auditorium in it, like this little 30-person auditorium.
Oh, really?
And I'm not saying that we're going to be playing Mario Kart and drinking in that auditorium, but I am going to tell you that we've done it already, and I'm damn sure going to do it in the future. Yeah. So look forward to that shit on the weekends. That's cool. We will have a full functioning restaurant, long bar, going to have a whole bunch of mini test room stills, and this is all very contemplative. Haven't narrowed it down yet, but the original OG Conshohocken Brewing spot we're still going to be brewing at, and we're talking about right now turning the entire building into a sour house, turning it into the Conshohocken Funk House.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Huh.
You didn't hear that from me.
Mum's the word.
I am not Max Hovey. I am an imposter. Fire me immediately. Just
that
kidding.
Explains the wrench.
That's going on the tablecloth.
Yeah, so you guys definitely need to come and check it out the second that we finish that up.
That's great because Dan and I are in Philly. Steph's up here in the Reading area, so that's like
awesome.
kind of right between
right in the middle.
us. So
yeah, good middle spot.
Perfect.
Yeah, hop off at 76. We're right there.
Yeah, awesome. Well,
I have to ask, what's the next beer that we have?
So the next beer we have, this is a rebrand and a rehashing of a beer that used to be called Burn Everything. But we had a lot of folks who came up and told us afterwards, wow, this is the most subtle smoked beer I've ever had in my life. This is incredible. And we were like, it's actually not smoked at all. It's just a terrible misnomer. We called it Burn Everything because we wanted to burn it all down, and here we are with this beer that's confusing people for the last 2 years. So, we've decided to call it Mr. Robusto. So, domo arigato, Mr. Robusto. Ha ha ha. Put your money where your marketing is. 6.2%. A little bit of rye, a little bit of chocolate.
Don't play too much of it. We're going to have to pay for it.
I think it's fine.
Nobody pays for this song.
This is fair use.
It's in the public domain. We're all set.
Yeah, this is in the public domain. I can't wait to hear from Dennis Young's lawyer. I really can't.
Listen, if you get that C&D in the mail, you'd be so sad. Let's be real for a second. Let's be real, my friend. So, this is my favorite winter seasonal beer we make. This is my second favorite seasonal that we make overall. And that sounds like I'm slamming it. I promise I'm not. This beer is incredible. If you took Guinness and you added a little bit of baker's chocolate in it, that's what this beer drinks like. And you don't even notice it has the rye malt still present. All that it does is it undercuts that body, so it's a hell of a lot lighter than it should be. Don't get any of that spiciness. It's just this great counterpoint.
Is
folks ready to drink some more?
Absolutely.
Is it on nitro?
We don't do nitro kegs, but I will say this beer would be incredible on nitro. We should put this on nitro immediately.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
All right, okay, let's do it. Pass me your cups, friends.
Oh, thank you so much.
Let's start drinking.
Thank you.
Or continue drinking. You guys are going to be lit at the end of this. Holy moly. Which brewery am I?
She's already got it.
You're already equipped.
Yes.
I'm already equipped.
You're the fifth that we've had.
Rich, you want some beer?
No, he doesn't really drink.
He actually doesn't drink.
He doesn't
well,
drink?
He's starting to drink. We drove him to drink.
Once we drove
my
him
friend.
to drink.
Cheers, thank you.
It smells incredible. I love the way that you describe it.
I love this beer.
It is really nice.
It's just like the
Oh, my
perfect
God.
order.
You wouldn't even notice it that there was rye malt in there unless I told you, right?
Not at all.
No,
I still don't pick it out, even though you told me.
It's got that little bit of spice like in the back.
Bingo.
But yeah, I wouldn't
Very
have
much
picked it out.
tip of the tongue, right on the tail end of the finish. And again, it's that counterplay.
Yeah.
So our head brewer, Andrew, so you folks spoke to him 4 years ago, you know. For the folks at home, dark beers are where he's at. He wants those malt-centric beers. So if you ever have our IPAs, if you're ever going for that and you're expecting it's going to be a hot bomb, that is not his jam at all. He doesn't want you to have to fight the beer. He wants that beautiful blending. He wants the malts and the hops to have this beautiful serenading waltz over your taste buds, taking you to this beautiful liquid nirvana. That's where he's at.
That's what I'm going to call my Nirvana cover band. Liquid Nirvana. Oh, man, I could drink that one all night. That's really good.
Dangerous.
Did
really,
you
really like that
say the ABV? Did I miss it?
Ooh, I did say it, but let's go. Let's do. So first of all, I said both of them to I think all these folks before we started recording.
You said 7 on the first one.
I did.
I remember that. I don't remember. I didn't write it down.
let's do the. So going back to our head brewer
You
being
said a lot of things, and it was more than I could write.
I have been accused of having verbal diarrhea, but Our head brewer again, mad genius. He can mask ABV of almost anything. So round table real quick. What do you guys think the ABV of Mr. Robusto is? Let's start with my man to the left here.
I think I'm going to say... I'm going to say 6.5.
6.5.
I was going to go right around there as well. I'm going to say, well, now that you said that, I'm going to say 6.
Okay.
Oh, I was going to say 6. So I'll say 6.25.
Perfect. So, the lady on the end is the closest. 6.2.
6.2. Look at that.
That makes sense. Steph would know that.
At least we were all in the ballpark.
Yeah,
I'm proud
right
of
on
us
there.
for that.
I believed.
I'm also relieved that it's not like 10.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, oh, this is so good. I'm going to drink so much of it.
Well, I have a story about that. So our last unfiltered IPA that we made that was cleverly called Unfiltered, UNPHLTERED.
Of course.
Because we got to do it for the homies.
Yeah.
All of our other unfiltered IPAs, including the one that we brought with us last week into another event, are usually 6.3 to 6.7%. The unfiltered, the UNPHL, was 8.9. And nobody felt the need to tell yours truly when I started drinking them 4 weeks ago before it hit the market. So I'm at the brewery and we're hanging out, having a good time. I have 3 in an hour, and all of a sudden my dumbass needs to Uber home at the end of the evening. So I'm all 155 pounds soaking wet. It was an issue.
Yeah.
Love it.
I'm going to actually, so unfortunately, Steph is on medication and so has to limit her alcohol intake.
So you're going to steal.
So I'm going to go ahead and steal the rest of this porter.
What
from
a
you.
selfless man.
I know.
Selfless human being.
To
You've
remove
been
the
my trash can for 36 years. So.
That's true. That's true.
Why stop now? Well, Max, to say it was a pleasure to meet you, I think would be an understatement.
Absolutely.
So thank you to you and your wrench for coming up to the table. And
thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, we definitely need to do another Conshohocken.
I'm looking forward to that.
Full podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be cool.
Absolutely. We'll have you guys over, have a lot of food, have even more beers,
and
tell more funny wrench stories.
We'll set up the mic for the wrench so the wrench can have a voice. The wrench can have it say.
Oh, my God.
Well, enjoy the rest of Brewphoria.
Yeah,
have fun.
Will do. Thanks so much for having me, guys.
Of course, dude.
Cheers.
So up next, coming to the mic, we have Sean Darnell from La Cabra, newly at La Cabra.
Sean spelled the right way.
Spelled the right way, as in scene. Formerly with 2SP. But with La Cabra tonight. How you doing, man?
Good. How you guys doing?
Pretty good. How have you enjoyed your brief, though it has been, tenure with La Cabra?
It's been awesome. We basically just hit our 2-year anniversary, and up until now, it's funny, people have been reaching out saying, we've been trying to get your kegs. And they basically brought me on because they are done dealing with people, and they're like, they're like, you already know everyone. It makes it easy. Bring you on.
Help wanted, one buffer.
Yes. Yeah. So, it's been awesome. I mean, the beer's been great. Pure autonomy over there. And, it's honestly very, very smart and strategic company.
Still the only place locally that I know that uses gold crowlers.
That's true, yes.
Like a boss.
Yes, I know.
They are baller there.
Like a boss.
And Dan lets you sniff his barrel, so I like him.
There is that, yes.
My
I was going to
favorite
say, and
brewers
also,
only sniff their barrels.
In terms of breweries around the area, really, really do a great job with the food.
Yeah.
Which is what gets people out there, and then the pork belly and or barbecue. Usually I end up hanging out back with the guy who's doing the smoker, and it's salmon, carnitas, anything, any given night, he's smoking some awesome barbecue.
Very nice. I remember when we recorded there.
Yeah.
We had a fair amount of food. I don't remember exactly what it had, but it was all very good.
I had a bacon cheeseburger that had peanut butter on it.
That's right. I remember that.
And then we had, towards the end, the buffalo mozzarella sticks were brought out, which were really good. And duck fries, I want to say?
Yeah, duck fries.
Oh, they were so good. And there was some kind of dipping sauce that was just one of the best things I've ever had.
Beautiful.
My only complaint with the food.
Oh, boy, here we go.
Last time we were there, I wanted that burger again. Does not exist. Or at the time, did not exist again.
Well, we did just replace it with a pork belly top burger, which...
Shit, I can't be angry.
I know. And if you guys are wondering, 20th of November, we're doing another can release, Mosaic Shatter. So we usually do 2 New Englands, different styles. The one I brought you, Second Rung, was from this last release 2 or 3 weeks ago. That's a pineapple double IPA that we did first rung for our first anniversary. That was the second anniversary.
That makes sense.
So we have Mosaic Shatter and Feeling Thankful, which is our brewed with thankful thoughts New England IPA that will be releasing.
Oh, cool. Very good. You could always just bring your own peanut butter.
Can I bring my own peanut butter?
Order a burger.
I have crunchy and creamy in my car, so just shoot me a text.
At all times in case of emergencies. That is a man who's prepared. All right, well, since we have two and a can.
Two and a can
that we're going to get to. Should we start with Hipster Catnip?
Absolutely.
And that was this one, right?
Yeah, so we will say we don't have a flagship, but that would be the closest thing to it. That has been the IPA that's kind of been getting us through since pretty early on. Oat-laden body, Citra, Mosaic. It's really a great mouthfeel. It's got the tropical hops that you're looking for. Mm-hmm. It's been my go-to. It's the right amount of bitterness.
It's definitely Hipster Catnip.
Yes.
It's definitely, it checks all those boxes that everybody wants in these hazy, soft IPAs right now, and it's a really good example of the style.
The one thing that's been an issue since the beginning is I love puns, and they hate all my beer names. The one thing I said is we need a double version of that called Millennial Cognac. And they said maybe. Every other name, they said no.
You got a maybe. All right.
I know.
Millennial Cognac.
We're getting there.
What were some rejected ones then?
Oh, good guy. Juice Wayne.
Oh, come on.
That's
or
good.
I just thought of... we came up with a bunch of juice puns, and they're all horrible, and I know they're horrible, and I'm happy that they keep me on a leash and don't let me do any of those names. So it's probably a good thing I'm not naming the beers, but Millennial Cognac did get a possibly someday.
All right, well, that's something. I just realized you're wearing a Hipster Catnip hat.
Yes.
That is the coolest thing ever.
Do you guys sell those at the brewery?
Yes, we do.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm actually looking up my beer names, and I'm going to embarrass myself.
Like a whole
with these.
spreadsheet?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, awesome. Here we go.
So I had an idea for a barrel-aged Scotch ale called Plaid and Boozy.
Of course, it needs to happen.
Exactly. So we had Goaty McGoatface was a no.
Goaty McGoatface is a no.
All Denim Everything, which is my friend and old brewer at 2SP would wear a jean jacket with jeans. Pretty much everything, yeah. Everything has been said no. Oh, and Juice Staley, which we already did a Brent Selleck beer. Get Juice Staley in.
Juice Staley? I'm not familiar.
Staley.
I like Hipster Catnip.
Is that what this is?
That's what that is.
I'm back. Sorry.
Yay, welcome back.
Selling more shit.
She was too busy selling shirts.
Yeah, people actually want to buy our shirts tonight. It's unusual.
We'll take it. We're giving the hometown crowd special deals. So is that the only one you guys drink so far?
Yes, as far as we got.
So, Sean, what's next?
Oh, next we have Quoth, which a Berks County celebrity, Rich Johnson, who runs the Pretzel Fest up in West Reading, reached out, did an event with the Mooter Museum and the Philadelphia Oddities Expo, and he reached out and he said, hey, I know this is sort of short notice, but we're kind of looking for some of your beer. I talked to my owner. He said that sounds like a really unique opportunity, something a little bit different for us. So we brewed that up for him as a beer you can survive all day on. It's 5%, Cascade, Idaho 7, and Citra. So you get a lot of grapefruit, citrusy, very easy drinking, but still a good bite at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is your lifestyle beer,
it's
your
very
everyday.
Bright.
It is.
Yes. Yeah.
I got that bite right as you said it, and it's cool. It rounds it out so well. It's all the flavors, and then that, and then it's gone. So you want to go back in.
I like it. It's got like you said, that bright, fruity quality, but it doesn't have. I don't like the New England IPAs that have like the really like super soft mouthfeel.
Yeah.
Like cotton almost. And this doesn't. This drinks a little more like a more traditional IPA in that sense. So I like that.
Yeah. No, and that's what we said for a pale. They were like, we're not going to lactose it. We just want it to be 5%, still have that bite of a pale that you want.
Yeah.
But all those flavors from the hops that people seem to dig these days.
You know, I went to the Mooter Museum for the first time in my life this year.
Okay.
I was impressed.
It almost sounded like you said the Nudie Museum.
I've been to those more often than I care to admit.
That's what they
Price
call
of
my
admission
basement.
there is higher. Yeah, that's what we call my basement.
So I think you need to hit the button.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're opening a can.
Button.
It deserves an audio drop.
You guys want a bonus beer?
Why, yes, I do. Oh, into the mic. Steph knows what she's doing.
Professional.
Now, this is the second rung.
Yes, it is.
Which is for the second anniversary, you were saying, right?
Yes.
Wonderful.
So it's an 8% pineapple, New England, not overwhelmingly pineapple-y, very, very well balanced. But unfortunately, We still have one can of First Rung still around from last year that I'm not bold enough to drink. Just hanging out back in the cooler that I've looked at. But when I tried this one, I was like, all right, is it going to be overwhelmingly fruity? They did a great job of not being in-your-face pineapple. It balances out. Still a good amount of hop to back it up.
And you know what? I assume there's lactose in this.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do not like lactose in beers, but I must say it adds the nice creaminess to the beer and a subtle sweetness without being like, there's lactose in this beer. So it's very well done, and I don't often say that about beers with lactose.
Restrained, yeah.
It is.
I was going to say, we have two very young brewers who are in there, and Justin Shyrock, who's about 27, he really loves these New Englands, but when I heard fruit, lactose, I was like, this is going to be one of those over-the-edge beers.
Yeah, milkshake.
He just does a touch of lactose. He doesn't want to taste like Splendas in the beer. He wants it to just soften up a little bit and kind of blend the fruit and the hops together.
I like that.
So I had the same fear when I heard there was lactose in the beer. I was like, is this going to be one of those I have diabetes after drinking a can type lactose beers? They do a very good job of making it very approachable and just softening it up a little bit.
Yeah. You guys should do a contest of something just for people at the brewery. We'll figure out what it is later. But whoever loses has to drink that can of First Rung. Has to shotgun the can of First Rung.
I think drinking it slow is worse.
That's true.
I got roped into my friend who worked for 2SP, Neshaminy Creek, and Free Will, roped me into a wing eating contest in my second week on the job. They neglected to tell me it was a Carolina Reaper.
Nope.
So I am out on any beer events that are competitions from now until next year.
Well, just make sure you don't lose.
Oh, I did win, and I have actually, I feel bad for not wearing it in for this. I have a Macho Man Randy Savage costume in the back of the Cobra van right now. So I decided,
next to the peanut butter,
what's better than eating aggressively hot wings, putting on a large jacket with bangles, a wig, and a giant cowboy hat.
That's amazing. Yeah, you should have worn that in here.
That is hilarious.
It might make an appearance in a little bit.
I was going to say, the night's still young. It's only 28.
It is still young, yes. Don't disappoint us now.
I could possibly sneak out in a a little bit.
It's been recorded. It has to happen.
I love it.
The wig is the worst part. I think it's made of real hair.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Jeez.
I don't know where the front or the back is, but I assume that's how Macho Man Randy Savage feels every day.
Just carry some Slim Jims around with you too.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, brother. Oh man. Sean, these were all great, man. Thank you for bringing them out to the table.
Yes.
Awesome.
Especially thank you for that can of Second Rung, because that is delicious.
Not a problem, guys. And thank you for having me on. Honestly, it's been great 2 years in a row.
Yeah, man.
And I'm happy we're already signed up for this, because I would have tried to fight and claw my way into this event anyway.
Don't worry. La Cabra, 2SP, you guys always have us spot at our table.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man.
Good to see you. And you're going to bring goat tattoos for us, too,
yes.
right? Okay.
This is real, but I do have fake ones.
Nice.
I'll bring some over in a costume.
Dan can't see it from where he is.
I was going to say, weirdly.
Oh, well, that's a thing.
Yeah, this is the first day coming in. I was like, I think it would be funny to, at Beer Fest, be like, hey, do you want a neck or face tattoo? And be able to give them out. And they were like, yeah, mock them up and let us know how much they are. I was like, that's autonomy. They were like, yeah, your stupid idea sounds great. Just don't name our beers.
Don't name the beers.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for having me on.
Say, Yvonne, remember when I said I'd have to send away to NASA to calculate your bar tab?
Oh, yeah. We all had a good laugh, Mo.
The results came back today. You owe me $70 billion.
Cheers to you out there in Beer Busters podcast land. I want to tell you about Brooklyn Brew Shop. They've been empowering the kitchen curious since 2009. Their beer-making kits are compact, attractive, and easy to use, keeping space-strapped brewers in mind. They use the same ingredients as world-class craft breweries. There's no extract, no sugar powders, just grain, hops, yeast, and depending on the beer, fun and exotic spices. They also have a line called Farm Steady. It's do-it-yourself food kits for cheese, baking, fermentation, and foraging, and it encourages people to revel in the kitchen by savoring foods they would never imagine making at home, like bagels and cream cheese, soft pretzels with beer cheese, fresh Italian cheeses, kraut, and so much more. The beer-making kits start off at just $15. Farm Steady lines start off at $25. And if you visit bit.ly/beerbustersbrooklyn, you're going to enjoy free and fast holiday shipping on orders over $59. Again, that is bit.ly/BeerBustersBrooklyn. And huge thanks to Brooklyn Brew Shop for their support of Beer Busters podcast. If I'm not mistaken, and I'm sure someone will correct me if I am, I don't think we've had anybody from the next brewery on our show ever.
Sadly, no.
In all of our,
you're right.
Yeah, in all of our 5.5 years of existence and traveling throughout the state, we've never had anybody on from Funk Brewing. Well, that ends today. God damn it. We have Keith with us. Keith, how are you, man?
I'm doing well.
Awesome, man. Thank you for coming up to the table.
Absolutely.
So how long have you been with Funk?
Since day one.
Ooh, all right.
Yes.
Oh, gee, how long has that actually been?
February, we're going to celebrate 5 years.
Nice.
Wow,
Nice.
it's been 5 years already.
Yeah.
And you are the marketing director, correct?
I am, yes. I wear lots of hats.
Okay.
So I'm also the graphic designer.
There we go.
Literally and figuratively.
Well, right. So does that is one of the hats that you wear like an event planner?
That was my old job. So
okay.
So I do a lot of events. I do marketing, social media, graphic design. I do the sales.
So what I'm picturing is for the 5th anniversary, you're going to put on a big event that you're going to design all sorts of T-shirts for.
Exactly.
And yeah, so you're going to be a busy man leading up to February, I bet.
Yes. I actually on December 18th, we are running up the steepest hill in Emmaus.
What?
It's 18% with frozen turkeys, and we're going to donate all the frozen turkeys to a food bank, and everyone gets beer after.
Oh, that's awesome.
You're not going to drink beer while you're running?
So there will definitely be
because
some
that's
people.
legal in Emmaus.
It is, yes. No open container law in Emmaus.
I know. That's freaking awesome.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't
you
know
can
that
take
either.
beer to the movie theater.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So the beer, double IPA that you have there, it's called Be Nice. We're doing this. Sorry if I'm jumping ahead.
No, please.
Right.
So we do the series. This is the second in the series, and basically what we're doing, we're picking local charities, and $1 of every 4-pack that we sell at our can releases goes to whatever charity it is. And Be Nice is from obviously the movie Roadhouse. So we actually got the movie theater in Emmaus to play Roadhouse.
Oh, that's cool.
The day that it was released. So that was it was the greatest day in Emmaus.
So I also do have to say, another set of cans to the table.
I like when they bring cans.
Yes,
and I'm drinking it as well.
We were gonna do the pills first because that makes sense. But I feel like since you mentioned it, we should taste.
Yeah, we kind of have to
Be Nice.
Why
yeah,
not?
absolutely.
Which is Imperial IPA.
I don't think I've ever seen Roadhouse.
I never have either, actually.
I know that's the look I get from a lot of people for saying a lot of things I haven't seen.
Yes.
Well, we should hang out with beer and drink it and watch it.
We should drink Roadhouse
drink
and
Roadhouse
watch
and
beer. What is the ABV on this?
7.7.
7.7.
That's delightful.
Delightful.
So really cool story about this beer. There is 12 veteran-owned breweries in the U.S. that got together at GABF this year. And Yakima Chief, who basically supplies all the hops for everybody, basically, they put together a blend, and it's called a Veterans Blend. I'm totally going to miss one of the hops, but it's Cashmere, Euconaut, Mosaic, and Centennial, I believe.
Okay.
And basically what they did is every brewery that bought the hops, they donated $3 per pound to the Semper Fi Fund. So we did it, and then we're going to donate $1 of every 4-pack to the Semper Fi Fund as well. So it's a really cool thing.
Awesome.
So you'll see this this whole week. There's a lot of breweries that were releasing beer with this hop in it. So it's called the Veterans Blend.
Oh,
So,
cool.
Very cool.
Which explains the camo on the label.
There it is.
And since we have the beers, and I presume you designed them,
I did, yes.
we should mention what they look like. So it's got like a cool, like that. What do you call it? It's like the modern
like digital
It's like
camouflage.
digital
Pixelated?
pixelated camouflage, and then like nice little stencil lettering on it.
And the
That's
Be
pretty
Nice
cool.
logo is for any Roadhouse geeks. That is the logo from the Double Deuce, which is the bar in Roadhouse.
Oh, I totally know what you're talking about.
It's okay. There's that random person on Instagram that yells out like, "I know what that is."
yeah,
And then
that's
my
true.
job is done.
Yes, you've made somebody feel special.
See, to me, the first thing that came to my mind was the bee looks like the bee from Boscov's.
Ah,
A little bit, yeah. Yeah. There's been
not-
several Boscov bees throughout the year.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I don't think that's what he was going for.
Probably
Not
not.
at all.
No, I like the reference better.
I'm a huge fan of Boskov, so.
I haven't been in a long time.
I worked there a long time ago.
You did.
Yeah.
You did. I remember that.
A long time ago.
I like that beer. That's really good.
Thanks.
I'm always afraid of Imperial IPAs because I never know what to expect out of it, and I don't know if people who make them know what I'm going to expect or expect the same things out of it. But this is like exactly what I thought it would be, which is great. It's good taste. It's don't laugh, Steph.
Sorry.
That came out a lot dumber than I wanted it to. I'm not going to lie.
Don't stop letting people not help.
Yeah.
That's kind of what that sounded like.
No, what was the ABV on it? You said 7?
7.
Okay.
7 and 7.
7.6 is like an Imperial. That's the start of Imperial. But
the cutoff.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I would have expected more, but I'm glad it's not.
Yes, yeah.
Can we drink the Pilsner now?
Yes, please.
I was also trying to delay that by saying something dumb so you'd laugh at me and we'd talk about that for a little bit.
Finally a Pilsner that's a Pilsner.
So this is called This is called the Bitches Pilsner? No, it's called Bishop Heinrich.
Yes.
Is that a reference to Roadhouse?
It's not. So our owner, Kyle Funk, thus the name Funk Brewing, his family came over. They got exiled from, I think it was from Germany, and they set up shop just south of Percy. And this guy, Bishop Heinrich, who's part of it, his ancestor, still has a house there you can go visit. And it's kind of a cool story. He's an author. He started a sect religion, basically, and they're called the Funkites. So very creative. But yeah, just we were just like, we got to do a German Pilsner. We got to call it something German.
Yeah,
so that's how we ended up with that. It's one of our favorite beers. Like,
it's great.
I think if you talk to any brewers, like, everybody drinks Pilsner. Like, if you walk into a brewery and you order a Pilsner, most times the bartenders know that you work at a brewery because there'll be a million Northeast style IPAs.
Yeah.
But if there's a German Pilsner, like, I was at Other Half a couple weekends ago, and I walked in there, they had a German Pilsner. I was like, I'll have the German Pilsner. The bartender's like, what brewery do you work at?
It's so good. It's so clean. It's crisp.
Really
it's
is.
just like everything you want in a Pilsner. Like, I appreciate that a lot of breweries are making Pilsners and, dry hopping them to sort of make the style cool again for the average IPA drinker. But when I order a Pilsner, this is what I want.
Exactly.
And it's my favorite style of beer, so it makes me happy.
This one's really good.
I want to pound that can.
I know.
can't.
Steph unfortunately has to limit her drinking because of medication. So, otherwise, I guarantee you this would have probably been going by now because this is exactly her kind of beer. It's really good.
It's right
We'll
down
definitely
my
send you home with some.
alley. It's so good.
Oh.
So we have one more.
We do.
Do you want to talk about the art?
It's cool.
It's sort of like it almost looks like vinyl.
Yeah, actually, it does. It does.
So-
A little distressed lettering.
So
with stripes.
he was a miller. So there's still a mill in. So I just took the circle of the mill and
Okay. And it almost kind of evokes like tree rings.
Yes.
Like yeah. That's cool.
I love the colors.
But most of the time, I just drink beer and then start drawing stuff on a piece of paper, and then it ends up as a can design. So
That's cool.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
So one more, the last one, it's sort of what I expect to see in a funk can. It's sort of like the OG funk style.
Yes,
The
yeah.
open mic can with the does the hop face guy have a name?
His name is Hop Man.
Hop Man.
Very
Hop Man.
creative. Yes.
How could I not remember that? So he's front and center with his awesome sunglasses, and then the really bold, bright green and blue colors, and the silver. And so this is open mic, the oat soaked in IPA.
That is hard to say. Oak soaked.
It is, yes.
Oak soaked.
I totally made that style up, by the way.
I was gonna say, what does oak soaked mean? The oats are soaked during the mashing process.
I want to know who told you that you had to write on the can, drink fresh, do not age.
Oh my God, you have no idea.
Yeah, no, I do have an idea, and it makes me sad.
If you want to hang out and take care of my Instagram account for a day.
It's fruity, like juicy fruit, bubblegum. That's what it reminds me of.
It is, and again, like I said about look at my notes. Was it the quoth? That it hits those fruity, hazy, any Cool Kid IPA notes, but it's not super soft. And I like that. That's one thing about that style that I really don't think I can get behind.
Well, and that's what's nice about using oats as opposed to lactose.
Yeah.
That it gives that.
You fill up the mouthfeel without
Right.
taking the.
That's the one thing we don't have. Our brewer and owner Kyle, he's a vegan, and our brewer is vegetarian. So, because me being the marketing guy, I'm like, let's throw a bunch of shit in the beer. Sorry if I can't curse.
No, you can say whatever you
It's
want.
the internet. You can say whatever you want.
And I always want to throw something in there, and they're like, no lactose, because he doesn't. He's vegan. So, and I respect that. But.
Well, Francisco Ramirez from Mad Chef Brewing in St. Petersburg, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, they have a line of. There he is. They have a line of milkshake IPAs, but they use something that's vegan, and it's completely.
Right.
I'm completely blanking on what the ingredient is.
We just talked about it. Yeah.
Because I was very strict vegan for a very long time.
Okay.
I have more. I was going to say recently, but it's been a few years. I do eat cheese again, but so I am very aware of the ingredients in beer and what is vegetarian and what is not, and what is vegan and what is not, and. I don't remember what that ingredient is.
I don't either. I didn't write it down either.
I feel like we need to connect Kyle and Francisco so they can talk about that, because I feel like that's something Kyle would appreciate.
He might actually use oat milk. Is possibly what he uses. I don't know.
It makes sense.
There was a specific name, it was a specific brand, and it was. They talked a lot about it, and I don't remember. If
I'm
you guys,
making a note to go back and.
Well, I was going to say, if our listeners want to find out what the hell we're talking about, go back a couple of episodes when we were at Mad Chef.
I forget what it was.
Well, it was like maybe
Someone's
150. It was 150.
It was.
It was 150. How did we forget?
So 5 episodes ago?
I don't know.
Something like that.
Less than 10 episodes ago.
Our schedule's a little out of sorts at the moment.
It wouldn't be the first time we've connected brewers and created great collaborations and great relationships. So I feel like Kyle and Francisco need to.
If that happens, though, we just need a Beer Busters logo somewhere on the can.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can just be teeny tiny in the bottom.
Just a little beer mug. Yeah. So, yeah.
Not a problem at all.
This is very cool.
I'm going to keep drinking this Pilsner.
So Funk has
really
the OG location and the brewing system in Emmaus.
Yep.
There's also the tap room, which has really awesome trivia on Sundays. Oh my God. In E-Town.
He did it. He put the costume on.
And Sean is back with Macho Man.
Oh my
Very
God.
savage.
I like the wig.
Oh my God.
Yeah, snap into a Slim
my
Jim.
God. I need a picture now.
Oh yeah, brother. That is so much better than I thought it was going to be.
Didn't he die?
Did he?
I'm pretty sure he died a few years ago.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I think so.
We're gonna look this up.
Fact check.
Died May 20th, 2011.
There you go.
Wow.
So, yeah, like 7 years ago. Yeah.
How did he die? What?
Yeah, he was too macho for one man.
Too many Slim
Oh,
Jims.
cause of death, cardiovascular disease.
You are correct, sir.
Oh God.
Too many Slim Jims.
Died at age 58 after suffering a sudden heart attack.
Anyway, related note, I remember the first time I was at Funk, there was a firkin on, and it was a orange creamsicle.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It was like a blood orange IPA on vanilla beans.
Yes, yeah.
And it was really good. It sounded like, that doesn't sound like it would be so great, but then we tried it. It was really nice. I remember that. I was there with you.
Yeah.
Was that at the E-Town location?
Yes.
Well, Keith, it was awesome to meet you, and I can't believe that we've been doing the podcast for over 5 years, and you guys have been in existence for 5 years, and this is the first time.
Come to
You've been
Lehigh
wrecked.
Valley.
We have had fun beers on the podcast.
We
before.
have. Keith, thank you so much, man. It was a pleasure meeting you, and thank you for bringing these up.
Yes.
Absolutely. I will drop some more Pilsner, so when you're not on medication.
Yay! I can hold on to it for a few months.
Yes, please.
Thanks, Keith.
Awesome.
You're awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much.
Cheers. So we've been here the past 5 years, did we determine? This is our 5th Brewphoria, roughly, give or take. And I'm pretty sure every year that we've been here, if memory serves, Free Will has also had somebody here.
Usually John.
But
we have someone more exotic
yes,
this time.
more exotic.
He's sort of a big deal now. John's sort of a big deal.
Don't make his
so.
head get any bigger. Don't. But in John's place, we have Anthony. How are you, man?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. This is, I think, my 3rd time down here.
Really?
At Brewphoria.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I am very much recognized as the less charismatic salesperson of Free Will. When you share a sales team with Archie Knight, you kind of get relegated to B team status. So
I got to ask, where's the accent from? Where are you from?
It's a hodgepodge of 16 years in the UK, followed by 21 years in the Lehigh Valley / Upper Bucks County.
Not at all what I thought you were going to say. All right.
Yeah, that's kind of why I explain it. Every time I say English, they're like, no, you're not. And I'm like, nah, trust me. There's a big reason why I sound like Hugh Grant got banged by John Goodman and I came out. It's probably the best way I can put it.
Nice.
Oh, man.
Well, how long have you been with Free Will?
3.25 years. I celebrated my 3-year back in the end of June.
Hey, happy anniversary.
Cool.
A little
Thank
late,
you.
but
Thank you.
it's coming up on 4. Nice.
Yeah. It's been good. It's been a heck of a journey so far, that's for sure.
Yeah. We've recorded with John or other people from Free Will countless times at this point. And John actually introduced us to Ethan from Stickman. So had we not been friends with John, we wouldn't know Ethan. We wouldn't have had all the gold from them and everything.
The world still debates whether or not that's a good that
Nah, Ethan literally brews beer and trades in shenanigans. That guy is fantastic.
By the way, today is the day that Stickman's barrel aging program was supposed to restart, because we made up a random time frame.
Oh, that's right.
So I texted him at 7 o'clock this morning, and he texted me back right away. What the hell is he doing up on a Saturday that early?
You probably don't want to know.
You probably
I
had
said,
to go into bed
today's
from
the day
last night.
you're supposed to start up your barrel program again, and he's like, yeah, that's not happening anytime soon.
He was up at 7 a.m. I'm guessing either he was sweating a barrel program that you arbitrarily suggested he start today, or the dude hadn't got to sleep yet.
That's true.
I think it's the latter.
I think it's 50-50.
It.
That guy's the man. I love him, but it could be either.
Ethan's the best. Yeah, I can't believe that day. It doesn't seem like it's been that long. We picked a day that was like pretty far out in the future.
It's like that Parks and Rec episode where everything got scheduled for March 31st, 2000. It's just, I didn't think that was a real day. And that's probably what Ethan's thinking. He's like, wait, November 10th exists?
Yeah,
that's a real thing.
That would be a real day.
What? There's 9 days in November.
I love now that I get Parks and Rec references.
Took
by
you
the way.
long enough.
I know, it took me long enough to finally watch the damn show, but it's now at the top of my list.
So you've got 2 beers with you. And
I've been left with 2
You've been
beers.
left with 2 beers.
You started with 4.
We should have grabbed you sooner. Damn it.
4. I'll be honest with you, I appreciate any lady saying she should have grabbed me sooner, but I think we'll all agree for the sake of decency.
Well,
things worked out okay.
Yeah.
What are the 2 that you don't have anymore? What were they?
So we had Desert Unicorn and Standing Here Dreaming, 2 of our Saisons. We brought in Nate Walters from Mackenzie's about 2 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
And Nate brought his Saison expertise over, and we've been able to kind of diversify the sour program, what we were really best known for out of that basement, and sort of bring in Nate's Saison culture, so to speak. And we had 2 of the better ones right now available today, both of which were incredibly well received.
Wow. I think, and now you brought to the table Craggle, which everybody knows and loves, your IPA. I think it's awesome that those 2 beers are gone. I think it's awesome that this is a beer fest where people came and drank those kind of beers.
Yeah.
Because, normally you'd expect the IPA kicks, the double IPA kicks, the barrel-aged pastry stout kicks. But you ran out of your Saisons. That makes me happy. I love Saisons. I would have loved to try them, but I'm glad they're gone.
It's, when you make those kind of beers, you recognize from a distribution standpoint, which is where we're at, we are potentially a little ahead of the curve. Yeah. So the biggest fear is always you take those beers into the marketplace, people drink them, and then it kind of lands flat. Yeah. People are like, nah, I'm good. Can you pass me, whatever adjunct stout or IPA you've got laying around? So it's, like I said, it's really edifying to know that people who came in and tried them really embraced them and enjoyed them. Yeah. Now we've, 40 people down, 2.5 million left to go, I guess.
Yeah,
We'll tackle this one Saturday night at a time.
That's how you eat an elephant, one bite at a time.
Yeah. Wow. That's true. I eat mine in steaks, but it's cool.
Or one fillet at a time. Yeah, whatever.
So Wayne mentioned that you have Craggle here. Should we start with that?
Yeah.
Because I want the anticipation to build up for me for the other one. Because the other one's
definitely the second one should be the showstopper. So we'll start with the Craggle.
Do you guys have?
Yeah. You around somewhere. Yeah, we have cups.
Oh, I think
we're just sort of pass the can around or pass the cup around.
Nope. Now I had to babysit a couple of kids recently, and I learned that if you put shiny things on the TV, shiny and bright things. They will calm the fuck down. And one of the things we put on was Lego Movie, which is where this gets its name. I can't tell you how much I wanted a goddamn beer watching that movie. It worked. It worked. You guys went for it, and it worked, and I wanted this beer, and I'm so glad it's here. So thank you for bringing it to the fest.
Yeah, no problem. No, I mean, backstory on Craggle, we had a few... Techno's been sort of an IPA we've had available for several years now, and then we had a few sort of different sidekicks, for lack of a better phrase. Lowercase, which is Session, IPA, Citra Pale. And then I think it was the spring of 2015, Craggle was introduced, and it wasn't a pale ale or a session IPA. It took it up to that 6.6 and really surpassed Techno in terms of popularity in the marketplace. Full disclosure, this is the beer that got me to come over to Free Will.
Wow.
I had been at Fegley's Brewworks for 2.5 years as their sales manager, having an amazing learning experience under the great Bo Baden. And when it was time for me to kind of step away and find the next position, I got very lucky that Free Will kind of talked to me about it. And I came down, met John and Dom at the brewery for beers, and I got to drink Craggle less through the prism of merely enjoying it or comparing what I previously sold to it, but how did I feel about the beer as something that I could help move in the marketplace. And once I drank it, I was like, if we can get everything to taste this good, we're going to be A-okay. And obviously 2016, it was named Beer of the Year down at the Philly Beer Scene Awards, and the numbers suggest that it's still really popular. It's been really great.
I've never heard anybody say anything bad about this. This is, to me, it's a solid IPA. It's exactly what it should be. It's crisp, it's refreshing, it's light, it's not heavy in its ABV at all. You could crush a couple of them, and you're still going to have a palate when you're done.
So I'll be honest with you, it's the World Cup semi-final, England versus Colombia. I still root for the motherland, for lack of a better phrase, and I think I had about 6 of these in the first half, and I'm going to show you that 6.6 will catch up.
Depending on how many you have. Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, you should definitely have a few, but if you buy a 6-pack and have nothing left, don't drive.
Yeah. It's 6.6 by 6.
But exactly, but it's unbelievable. It really is. It's been a great beer for us.
Yeah,
but it really is. And Free Will is known, as you mentioned, for sours, saison, sort of that Belgian inspired type of beers. But yeah, it also always have had solid pale ales, and the Craggle IPA. I mean, like you said, for the past couple of years, it's been around. It's been hugely popular.
Well, and now really. Well, since Nate came on, saisons are definitely a big thing, but with Sour Sunday, which has been going on for how many years now?
Last one of the years tomorrow, quick plug.
Oh, there you go. All of that will be in the past.
Yeah, that will be in the past.
Sorry, November 11th, build a time machine.
Build a time machine. But the sours that are being produced at Free Will are just phenomenal. And I know John is always very humble when it comes to the sour program, because I know he's very respectful of especially Belgian brewers and lambic brewers, and he has a lot of respect for what they do. But I mean, if I'm going to drink a sour beer, especially a local sour beer, I'm definitely going
of course.
for Free Will.
I can't tell you how many people I've told when they ask about sours to get Free Will beers. Speaking of, it's not the sourest of sours that you guys do. Blood and Guts. Is that still making the rounds?
Yeah. We had a release of that a little while ago. We don't really do the sours quote unquote seasonably. We kind of just seasonally we kind of send them out when they're ready.
Right.
But we always try and make sure we have Blood and Guts available sort of going into the fall.
Okay.
For some reason, the phrase Blood and Guts and Halloween.
Well, yeah.
People seem to really want that beer on tap for their Halloween parties. But yeah, Blood and Guts is still around. We've seen an adjustment as the market has kind of looked beyond sort of consistency in sours and started looking for vintages.
Yeah.
That's married really well with the arrival of Nate, who's done a really great job of making sure that every sour, every barrel is to standard. But what that's also done is, in addition to improving the quality of each of the sort of recognizable sours we've made, it also means that Nate's got surplus barrels that he felt maybe didn't fit the flavor profile he was looking for, but have allowed him to introduce beers like Impromptu Dance Party, which was just a blend of beers, blend of barrels that Nate kind of felt needed some more time and needed to be blended in with a few other things. And Nate's really been able to tighten that program up from a quality standpoint at an unbelievable level.
Good.
Awesome. I have a very important question.
Okay.
is Blood and Guts and other beers still corked and capped?
Oh,
Because that is a dirty, dirty trick.
that is a dirty trick.
We were so excited to have a bottle of it. In fact, we got it at a Brewphoria.
We did,
It
yeah.
made it back home with us in Philly. We were so excited to open it and drink it. We opened it,
Pop the cap.
and there's a goddamn cork.
We don't have a corkscrew,
We
do
don't.
we, Dan? No, we don't.
Here's what we did.
We have a screw.
Yeah. Yeah. Screwdriver, twisted it in there, and pulled it out with pliers.
I don't know if we should put like something on the label that says,
Cork and
we
capped.
need a corkscrew.
Beware cork inside.
Yeah, that's a really fair point. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I am giggling inside at the thought process of you guys like opening up a cap of a beer you really wanted to drink and then discovering that
I
obstacle.
really wanted it, man. And we were already drinking, so like we couldn't go to the store and get a corkscrew.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah, I simply just smash it over the edge of my kitchen counter and chug it, and then wonder why everything's got a really metallic taste.
Put it in a bucket with a hammer and then pour it through a strainer to get the glass out.
Too many steps.
Wow. Should we open the other beer?
We probably should.
Luckily, it's a can.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's
this
no
is
cork
actually
in there.
Damn you, John Stemler!
I guess it's a great idea. We should definitely start figuring out how to get a cork in these things.
Corked cans.
That's funny.
Oh, this pours very differently than I thought it would. Holy crap.
So yeah, I'm going to read you the description.
Yeah.
It's a cream ale brewed with coffee beans, cherries, vanilla, and milk sugar. So
Interesting.
So good luck.
There's some that reddish hue comes in from the cherries.
I really figured it would be dark. I figured we were going into like a porter.
Well, you missed the whole cream part
I know,
of the
except for
name?
the cream part.
Yeah.
But I really figured it would look a lot darker than it does. Oh my god, it smells
A lot of
incredible.
coffee in the aroma. Oh. It's like one of those.
That's not fair.
It's not fair.
Oh.
It's like one of those combinations of flavors that, like, on paper you feel like wouldn't work so well. But it's really interesting. It's really nice.
The pastry cream ale.
But like the coffee, like I don't think like cherry and lactose and coffee.
Hold on. I didn't get the cherry at first because I'm sitting here like, where the F's the cherry? I just got it.
No, it's there. Yeah,
I had to do this for a little.
yeah.
It's in the back.
I think it's
very
fair to
coffee
say
up front.
this is almost beyond a pastry cream ale and almost like a sort of a continental breakfast.
Yeah.
Cream ale.
Yeah,
You know,
it really is. Yeah, you're right.
It's kind of taken what you would classically put in a pastry and then added that sidecar of coffee you really crave first thing in the morning.
I'm not gonna lie, this broke me. This broke me. This is it's phenomenal, and I don't know what else to say besides that.
No,
Holy
that summed
cow.
it up perfectly. We can leave it at that. That works. John's a pretty wicked recipe writer. I sometimes worry that we're almost too far ahead of the curve. That John's actually writing recipes for beers that'll probably catch on in a year's
20
time.
years.
I don't know. Hopefully not 20 years. I'm comfortable saying that if I'm not dead, I might be somewhere else at that point. But no, I mean, John's
he does age faster than most human beings, doesn't he?
Oh
Seth?
yeah, he does.
That's an inside joke.
I still think one of my favorite beers from anywhere is COB.
Oh yeah,
because when we first had it on the show, you had said,
where did we first have it?
I don't remember where. Somewhere along the way.
It was a while ago.
But you had said, and it was a fair point, that with coffee flavors, you normally associate it with a darker beer, a porter, a stout, something. But then that partners it with the brown.
Yep.
And it's such a wonderful combination.
It
and
is.
this reminds me a lot of that because it's something you wouldn't really expect, but it works so well.
Well, and we've talked about since then, has become more popular is doing coffee in paler beers.
Right.
Like the Coffee Coles from St. Benjamin and others. Which a lot of times it's kind of a mind fuck because it looks like such a pale beer and you taste it and you get that coffee. What's really interesting about this is that, not only is it a lighter beer with coffee, but it also has that prominent fruitiness. Like the cherry's not very overpowering. It kind of comes in at the end, but it does have like a citrusy, juicy, fruity character with it that you don't like. I wouldn't think to put that with coffee and it would be good. Like I feel like that wouldn't work, but it works really well because it kind of starts coffee and ends fruity.
Yeah.
I've also had a lot of beers, so I'm getting a lot more philosophical.
No, I think you've got a really fair point. I mean, I think that concept of delivering something that the customer maybe isn't expecting, or the end consumer isn't expecting. I mean, you see it with, food at the molecular gastronomy level with some of what the chefs are doing in terms of, it's red and orange sorbet, and it turns out it's a blood orange sorbet with a carrot sorbet, and it's subtle, it's not a huge deviation from what you'd expect, but it does alter what you think you're going to get, and that surprise is different. We did a beer called Scarecrow. We've done it a couple of times in the fall, and we just did a release a couple of months ago. That beer flew, and I think one of the reasons it does is it's got those sort of classic full spice profiles that people tend to get in quote-unquote pumpkin beers, but we put in a 5% wheat beer. And people don't expect that. They're expecting sort of one of those classic, bigger, high ABV pumpkin beers, and they get that flavor in an area or in a beer style they didn't expect to get it. And I think you got to be careful with those kind of things. I think that breaking through people's preconceived conceptions can be kind of difficult. But if you do it, it's typically very successful.
Well, thank you for breaking Dan.
I'm broken. I'm
not too broken to use Untapped, I see.
Well, I have to tell the internet that it broke me. My comment on this beer is this beer broke my brain.
Wow.
I can't promise I do as good a job on the podcast, but if you need to take a minute, man, honestly, bro, because I got about 2 cases up there. I mean, I can smash you if you really want to. We can just do this right.
Oh God, what's its ABV? I
6.4.
Yeah, it didn't taste like it was super high.
Yeah, 6.4.
That's doable. That's less than the Craggle.
Just leave the rest of the can there that you may have it, Dan.
Yeah, that's all you. I'm sticking around. I'm still sipping on the pills from Funk.
This is incredible.
It's really nice.
My God, Anthony, thank you for bringing this up here and breaking me.
It's literally the first time a man's ever said that, but you are. I mean, I'd be like if I said a woman's ever said it. I mean, I guess when a person told me I broke them, I was hoping it'd be somebody else, but I'll take it, man.
I'm sorry that I had to be the first.
It's all good. I'll never forget you.
I'll never forget you either.
It's always a moment with free will.
And it's captured for all time on the internet.
Oh, for all time.
Shit, this is going out to people?
Well, I mean, for as long as society's around.
My mom's going to be crushed.
Jesus. Oh, my God, Anthony, it was a pleasure meeting you, man.
Anthony's mom, if you're listening, we love you.
I'm lukewarm, but yes.
Wow.
Nah, I'm kidding. I love her.
Oh, my goodness.
She's cool.
She's cool.
That's
cool. Good. That's good.
Maybe we should quit while we're at
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
No, thanks for having me over, and certainly
Next time, save one of the saisons for us, please. Promise.
next time call me over sooner.
All right. I know. I told you. I regret it.
Nah, that's cool. I'll
The
bring.
one that
I'll
got
bring.
away.
We'll bring more next time.
All right, good.
It really is one of those things where we had a lot of people who really responded well to this, and certainly if. As long as this event's willing to have us bring more saisons, we'd love to do it.
Perfect.
Do you know what I just realized?
Oh, my God.
I know. I'm sorry. I still have those 2 brown beards.
I know. They've been in our fridge for a long time.
For like 3 years at this point.
Yeah, you've been aging them, and I've been waiting. Like, when's Dan ever going to open that? Every time I open the beer fridge. Oh, look, it's still there.
We'll do it soon.
All right.
Do it.
Yeah. I forget what years they are. Probably like 2014, 2015, I want to say.
Probably,
yeah.
My guess is 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
We debuted that brand in the fall of 2015, spring of 2016.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that range.
All right.
So
It's time.
It's time. You're right. I'll do it. I'll do it this week.
All right. Sounds good.
It's been recorded.
It's also time to let this poor man get back.
I know.
No, this is cool, man. Like, there's somebody over there pouring for me. I mean, I'm
It's my husband.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go crush that buffet in a minute.
Yes. Get some mac and cheese. It is delicious.
Yeah, but thanks for having me on.
Nah, man, thank you.
This is great. Thanks a lot.
Great to meet you, man.
Cheers. Well, this has been, much like every Brewphoria before, a hell of an event.
A beer fest.
It has been a beer fest. What I find interesting, and we've mentioned this when we were not recording, but I feel like the good people listening to this deserve to hear.
And the bad people, too.
Most beer fests will give you a small tasting glass, 2 or 3 ounce pours. Tonight, everyone in attendance has a pint glass.
Everybody's walking around with pint glasses.
But the weird thing is...
Do not fuck around.
Yeah. It's not like a Canal Street pint glass. It's not a Brewphoria pint glass.
No,
they're different breweries.
They're random bar pint glasses.
Yeah, like there's 2 roads. I saw some Conshohocken ones floating around.
Like,
There's some Dogfish ones on the table behind us there.
They probably just didn't want to pay for glassware.
I don't blame them, man.
But no, it's cool. And what's cool, and I was saying a little bit earlier, was that we're sort of in the back section where it's just like tables for people to sit down and eat and chat and whatever. Most of the breweries are behind us. The band is out front. The main bar is out front, kind of far from where we are. Nobody back here is super drunk.
No,
for having full pours of beers.
And
they're not filling the pint glasses.
No, and none of them. I mean, they're probably not stone cold sober either.
Or they're really good at hiding it.
Yeah. So I don't know if all the crazy drunk people are up front or not, but this is the kind of beer fest where you're not going to get people breaking shit and vomiting on the floor and stuff that happens at places like Atlantic City.
Did either of you want any more of this? Because
no, that's all you.
All right, it's gone.
This is also cool. It's so awesome the people that we meet at fests like this, especially fests like this, like we said earlier, where people who actually own the breweries, work for the breweries, brew the beer, are pouring the beer. They've also left us a shit ton of cans of beer.
Yeah.
We just have cans of beer all over the table.
Keith said he was going to bring Steph some Pilsner for when she can drink it when she's off her meds, and
she's got a great
He
Pilsner.
rolled up with a 4-pack for her.
Look forward to. Also dropped us a
4-pack of Be Nice.
Of the Be Nice. We still have cans from other breweries that were here earlier.
I'm finishing up the coffee cherry cream pie from Free Will, the one that broke me. I'm less broken now.
Yeah,
I've been taped back together.
All the King's horses, but not the King's men.
Nowhere does it say Humpty Dumpty was an egg.
No, it doesn't. It's also Frankenstein's monster.
I know.
Not Frankenstein. Welcome to the Pet Ant Podcast.
So we have one more beer.
We do.
It's sad that I think this is our first Brewphoria that Dane Shirey is
know.
not here, but it is his wife Jill's birthday today,
Dane.
so I hope he's taking her somewhere awesome. So we couldn't have a Brewphoria episode and not drink a St.
No matter
Boniface
where they
beer.
go, it'll be somewhere awesome because Dane's there.
That's so sweet. So we're drinking my favorite beer name of the night. This is Offering 46 from St. Boniface. The haze stops here, and it is a brute IPA.
The haze
and it's
stops
gorgeous.
Here, it's clear. This far, no farther, and I will make them pay for what they have done.
That is delightful. That's fucking good.
You broke your little ships.
That's my favorite Star Trek movie.
It's the best one.
It's easily the best.
Of course.
I'm a Kirk over Picard guy, but that's the best
That
movie.
beer is fucking good.
This beer is really good. There's a
beer
lot
is
going on there.
really good.
Wow.
I've had several brute IPAs since the style has kind of come to fruition. Not so many in this area, but a lot in our travels over the summer, because it's definitely something that started up outside of this area first, but that is the best brute IPA that I've had.
This is great.
It is bright and effervescent and like what you want from the brute side of it, but it's like, and I wish I could drink more of it, but it's a little like grassy, and like herbal, and
it gets malty and biscuity and almost corn like almost like I get like corn tortilla at the very end.
It's super good.
It's really nice.
I'm always afraid
the whole thing going through it.
I'm always afraid with brewed IPAs, since they use the champagne yeast, that it's going to be a little sweeter than I would
brewed
like.
IPA does not mean champagne yeast necessarily.
Oh, I thought it did.
No.
Oh.
It just means it has a champagne-like quality. It does not mean champagne yeast.
I figured they use champagne yeast. Okay. So even so, the champagne-like quality, most of the champagnes that are out there are kind of sweeter.
If Dane was here, I would say, what yeast did John use in this beer? But
and he would say,
filled with yummy goodness.
That's exactly what he would say.
Sound clip. So this has been a pretty awesome Brewphoria. And I gotta say, and I'm going to be honest, Dusty was a legend here. And, I don't want to say I was hesitant, but I was definitely nervous with the transition, with Dan now taking over. And I have to say, he has stepped up to the plate, and he is really filled. I mean, you can never fill Dusty's shoes, let's be honest. I mean, Dusty
physically
is
or
one of a kind.
metaphorically.
But, it's really awesome that Brewphoria is still living up to its reputation.
The spirit
and it's
of
an
it lives
awesome
on,
place.
without a doubt.
It
It's great. It's a wall-to-wall crowd. I mean, the buffet is still just as good as it always is. Although there was no coleslaw this year, which I am kind of bummed about.
We'll give them a hard... And the bruschetta.
No bruschetta.
Which I already gave Dan a hard time about.
No blue cheese.
There was no blue cheese. Rich was
But
upset
the
about that.
iced tea was cold this year.
I didn't get any
It
of
was
it.
warm last year.
It was warm last year.
That was Elise's fault.
And the staff is always so amazing.
Yeah, that's the thing. Everybody here's really
Before
cool.
and during, they check on everyone. They check on those of us that are here to kind of work the event. But it's just, it's not like any other fest. And if you've never been to Brewphoria, you don't know unless you've been here. Because if you look around, everyone is just kind of sitting at a table, hanging out with people, enjoying a beer. You know, by this time of the night, people are going back and sort of getting a fuller pour of some of their favorite beers. And, you know, it's just really laid back and chill and awesome. And the buffet is always fantastic. And they always choose great breweries to be here. And the breweries, like, bring awesome beers. It's not just whatever's laying around the brewery. They really think about bringing something awesome.
Speaking of breweries that bring awesome beers,
I was going to do it.
We have 2 beers from Weyerbacher from this evening,
which we're going to taste in
last
call.
I know.
Yeah. So you're I see where you're going.
Yeah.
So I was making sure we were all still on the same page.
We're on the same page, right? No, but we are gonna drink them in last call, which, if you don't know, now you know, is the bonus portion of our podcast that only our patrons on Patreon get to listen to. So if you want to check that out, we're going to drink those beers and probably talk a little nonsense. That's patreon.com/beerbusters. We didn't do a whole lot of plugs this episode.
We didn't. I was going to save mostly for the end because I wanted to get to talk to Dan, and then we had Dave.
Yeah, slide it in there in the rear like I like to do.
Well, exactly. I mean, Patreon by far is that's I think the more important one.
Yeah. So check it out.
But if you're not able to be a patron or not at a point where you can do so, or let's be honest, want to, that's cool. Everybody's got their thing. You're going to follow us on Instagram. That's always free, at Beerbusters. Twitter, also at Beerbusters. Facebook, Beerbusters Podcast. We share a lot of news articles on there and such. You can go to beerbusterspodcast.com.
You also find out where we're recording.
Yes.
We post events for all our
Yes, we make events for all of our upcoming recordings.
Podcast recordings.
Now, if you're a patron and we record in the basement, you get invited to that.
Get a secret invite to our Beerbusters Basement cult.
Yeah, cult. It's not a cult.
It's definitely a cult.
It's kind of a cult.
Yeah.
And
805.
I wasn't going to do that, but sure, 805-991-BEER.
991-BEER. Text us your answers for tonight's trivia questions.
What we would really ask, too, especially if you're not at a point of being a patron, if you could at least do us the favor of leaving us a rating and review on your podcast platform of choice, it's going to help other people find the show. And in an overcrowded market in the podcast world, that's certainly going to help out. So if you like it, share the word just by leaving a rating, hopefully 5 stars.
Also,
and
I want to start doing this every time.
Yes,
because I feel
I know
like
what you're going to say, and I agree.
If you listen to other podcasts besides us, which you probably do, please rate and review them as well.
Yes, that is like
every
the currency
podcast
in podcasting.
Every podcast benefits from reviews.
Yeah.
So rate us and rate all the other podcasts you listen to. Even if you don't listen to them often, I have a lot of podcasts in my subscription library that I haven't listened to in a while, but I'll get back to them eventually.
Yeah. Throw them a review. And all it takes is like 3 taps on your phone. That's really it. Tap, tap, tap. But of course you want to rate us the highest, let's be honest.
Sure.
Well, I think unfortunately this brings us to the end of another episode of Beer Busters. Another Brewphoria in the books, number 5 for us.
Yeah,
did we settle on 5? Is that the official answer?
Well, I know our first one was 12, so I'm just counting up.
12, 13, 14, 15,
Makes
16.
sense, yeah, including...
I don't think we missed any since
I don't think we did.
No, we haven't.
I don't know. Someone will correct us if it's wrong.
Well, huge thanks to Canal Street for always being awesome to us.
Thanks for Dan with 2 N's.
Yes, thank you to 2N Dan.
Our manager.
Yep. And thanks to everybody who was here and shared the beer with us. It's great. If you haven't been out, come out next year. But my name is Dan Baker, joined by my co-host and brewologist,
Seth Effner.
Wow. Demented and fermented.
Way bigger.
I was wondering if you were going to do it.
Wow.
No squids were harmed today, friends. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
This is the best beer I've ever had in my life.
Oh, hyperbole.